Shalom, everybody. Peace of the Lord to all of you. And today we are live from Indonesia. I am now in the top of the coconut tree of the Ulama. As you see, the Ulama is a word, an Arabic word, mean scholars. So those people, they claim to be scholars. Seriously. You know, the funny is, the Arab who speak Arabic by birth, they cannot understand the stupid Quran. And those potatoes who don't speak, they don't even know how to say their prophet name correctly, they call themselves ulama. And those poor Indonesian, they give them a lot of money. Those people, they make living from this, living rich, filthy, you know, villas, big names, big places, wherever they go, people, they welcome them, free food. Ustaz, brother, Ustaz, this is Ustaz. So I wanted to, today, I want to start my broadcast, and you, if you're Indonesian, you can cut this part and post it for all those Indonesian, which I accuse them. I'm not talking about Indonesian people, I'm talking about those who call themselves ulama, which means scholars. I accuse them to be a bunch of a scam. They lie to people, they do not know how to explain one page in the Quran. They have no idea what Islam is about. And I say to the Indonesian, if your ustad cannot answer one question about Islam, what about you? Anyway, go, I'm live. Who is an Indonesian ustad there today to call me? Or who is an an ulama or a scholar from Asia? See, today I'm going now, and this time specifically so people in Asia, they can join us. Who is a person from Asia? He's a sheikh. He have a long beard. I noticed one thing, by the way, about Indonesian sheikh. They have no beard. Maybe because beard doesn't grow there, which is weird. I mean, is it the Prophet of Allah command you to grow beard? Like I look at Zakir Naik, you know, he spent 20 years putting fertilizer on his beard. It doesn't work. And by the way, I'm not, you know, making fun of you. I wish I don't have a beard. I mean, I'm sick of it. You know, this beard, you know, those things you can clean dishes with it. It is tough like those things. I mean, you can clean a dish with it. You can even rip a paint from a car with it. I mean, it's made, I don't know, like this is not a beard. However, it have some benefit, like mosquitoes, insects, they cannot even get close to you. You know, if I'm wearing short, mosquitoes cannot really bite me, but they can bite only my feet. But my legs, they cannot, because the fur is all over. So they benefit from being Harry Potter. But those are ustaz, and I don't know how they can be called ustaz. What is the proof that you are an ustaz? If even the beard you don't have. Zukufi Abbas, he is apologist from Islam. I don't know who is this guy. Even his name is weird. Zukufi. What the heck is that? Is that an incident? Or he's born like that? Anyway. So if there is any Muhammadan would like to join us, CP is a lateral thinker. Really? I am? I didn't know that. That's news for me. Do we have any sheikh from Asia would like to join us? From anywhere. Indonesia, Bangladesh, Pakistan, I mean, any Muslim country. Cambodia. In Cambodia, the majority are not, you know, not majority Muslim, but there are some Muslims there. Anyone? Any Muslim from any of those countries would like to join us? Can you make a special episode about the Ibadi sect? Well, I mean, they are just another idiots. I prefer not to focus on a sect. Focus on the head of the snake. Hit where it hurt every one of them, not only a specific sect. I know Cambodian are Buddhist, but I saw a video in YouTube. Obviously, there's some Muslims. I don't know if they are originally from Cambodia or coming from Indonesia. I'm not sure, but I saw some women wearing hijab. And you know, the funny is that Arab women, they don't wear hijab, most of them. But you go to Philippines, you see those Muslims wearing hijab, covering their face. They look like ninja. Indonesia, I mean, and those are very hot countries. You go to Saudi Arabia, nobody is covering her face no more, you know. And women, they are wearing short skirt, jeans, etc. But you go to those countries, those women are jean ninja, you know. Yeah, which I find very funny. And not only that, I mean, how you can wear, I can imagine how ugly it is to dress like that in such a hot country. I mean, those clothing, they will suffocate you. Do we have any Mohammedan from those countries would like to join us? We have Abdullah. I don't know if Abdullah is from Indonesia or not. We will see. Hello?
Hello.
Welcome, Abdullah. Are you a Muslim?
Yes, I am.
From which country, Abdullah, you are?
From Sri Lanka.
Oh, Sri Lanka. That's good. You are from Asia too, so that's good. Our topic about Asia. Do you know any scholar from Sri Lanka? He can join us so we can have a debate with him?
No,
Not even one?
I don't live in that country no more.
I,
So
so
we don't have anybody.
you don't live in Sri Lanka?
No,
Oh, okay. You don't have connection, you don't speak Sri Lankan?
no.
Oh, okay. All right, so what do you want to say to us, Abdullah, why you are joining us?
I just I became a Muslim recently.
Uh-huh.
Then I start reading the Quran. I thought I'd become a Muslim first. Then I start reading the Quran. Then I start reading the Hadith as well. So I was a little bit not confused, but how to say it, like I don't want to say, hey, I don't agree with half the stuff it says, but I do like I do watch you sometime, and I do. I'm guessing you're giving a lot of information that sort of contradicts my belief.
What do you believe about Islam? What do you think about Islam?
I think it's a monotheistic religion.
Well,
Like you worship.
I wanna stop here. I mean, what a big deal about being monotheistic. What does that mean? I mean, is it really important if there is somebody have one God or 10 God or seven God or 7-11 God? The question is, if this God is true or not. You know, if there is 10 God, there's 10 God. What you can do about it? If there's one, there's one. So monotheistic is just a very silly reasoning to believe in anything. In case you do not know, those who worship Satan, they believe is the only God. They are monotheist. So, so the monotheism is just an idea. It's not what make it convincing. And I don't reject the Hindus because they have 30 million, 35 million God. No, I don't reject them for, but okay, what if there is 35 million God? What I can do about it? They all exist. So then I have to believe. So the question is, if the one God or the two God or three God or seven God or whatever gods, if they all exist or not, this is the question. The number doesn't make any difference. Same time, see the idea of monotheism, it sounds good. However, if you want to ask questions, then you will find yourself in trouble too. Like, if you are a person who want to question things, like as an example, the Muslim, they come and they say, how you Christian believe in the Trinity? And we Muslim, we have only one God. In fact, in Christianity, we believe in one God too. The Trinity is not three God. The Trinity is one God. This is how God is. God is a three and one at the same time. However, if I want to do the game the Muslim they play, I will ask myself then, okay, Allah is the only God. So where Allah came from? This is a question no Muslim can answer. He is the only one. Remember, there's no other God, so you have no parents, you have no family, you have no kids, you have no wife. Where Allah came from? The Muslim, they made videos saying that everything have to have a creator. Well, I believe in the creator, right? But if you believe that everything have a creator, then you stick with it. And that will take us to the question, who created Allah? So even when they try to convince atheists, they are silly. When they try to convince themselves, they are stupid. And the idea of monotheism is just an idea. It can be fiction, it can be true, but it doesn't make something right or wrong. I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do. It's because not before, I didn't know that they had like a house of shaitan in Arabia. So it's like when they go and throw a stone, is that like a form of worship?
Yeah, Islam is a pagan religion. There's no question about it. Allah himself is a pagan God, exists before Islam, and the Arab before Islam, they used to do the same as the Muslim they do today. Tawaf is something the Arab they do. They go around even stones, not necessarily the Kaaba. There was a 26 Kaaba in the Arabian Peninsula. And this is even according to the Muslim research, not even Christians. In the hadith we will find, I don't know if you saw this hadith I showed before, the Muhammadan, they said, we used to worship stones. Let us read together. You see my screen?
Yes.
So we used to worship stones. Let us share the screen with the people in YouTube. We used to worship stones, and when we found a better stone than the first one, we would throw the first one and take the later. But if we could not get a stone, then we would collect some earth, dirt, and then bring sheep milk and milk the sheep over it. And then we perform tawaf around it. Do you see tawaf?
Yes.
That's what the Arab do. They do tawaf around the Kaaba, the pagan, they have idols, they have, the Kaaba is just a place where they place all kind of gods. Even the Muslims agree. There was a 360, at least 360 idol around the Kaaba, and the Kaaba itself is an idol, where the black stone, which was the vagina of Baal, was located. So there's no question that Islam is nothing but a pagan practice inherited from the Arab, and the Arab they inherited from others. You see, even the Arab they agree that the first time the Kaaba have a dress. Now, did you ask yourself why the Kaaba have a dress? What is that? A guy, a pagan guy, he went, there is an area close to Israel. He found people, they have the same thing, they close their idols. So he decided to close the Kaaba, and since then the Arab, they are doing the same. So it's, again, it's just a pagan practice. The Kaaba itself, you know, what make it holy? I mean, we showed the videos previously, how the Kaaba is flooded, how the dirt, the sewage is coming on it, how it is in the worst location of Mecca. There's no way God will choose a place like this to build his house, his holy house. Number three, you know, Muslims, they fabricate a lot of stories about the Kaaba. As an example, they say to you, do you know that airplanes don't fly over the Kaaba? Or do you know that birds don't poo-poo in the Kaaba? But if you search in Google, you will find that all of this is garbage. The bird, they poo-poo, they clean the Kaaba. Just search right now, cleaning the roof of the Kaaba.
Yeah, I would think bird would poop on the Kaaba because nothing preventing them from doing it so.
Yeah. Even they have a cable in the top of the Kaaba and in the top of the grave of Muhammad to prevent to suck or any thunder, thunderbolt, hit the Kaaba or the grave of Muhammad. And the Quran make it clear that the thunder only will hit those who Allah He curse. So everything they say about their religion is a fiction. However, we prove Islam to be fiction and a lie and a pagan from the Quran itself. Not only from physical evidence we have in front of us, which is the location of the Kaaba, the flood of the Kaaba. Can't Allah stop the Kaaba from being flood? Allah is God, supposedly. He can say, hey, ground, lift up the Kaaba. All that area, all the city will go up. So suddenly now the Kaaba will become in the top of a nice place and no flood will affect it. Why Allah cannot do that? So what do you think, my friend? Do you want to stay as a Muslim?
Bubble is like, how to say it, obviously I don't want to be keep on converting from one religion to another and then to another, then it would just make me look bad. So
I know,
guessing
I agree with you. It would make you look stupid. But, I don't want to insult you, but it make you more stupid to be a Muslim. For me, I'm not insulting you, by the way. I'm just giving you my, opinion. Everybody knows I say things as it is. I don't care what people say. For me, you are being stupid by being a Muslim, just by being a Muslim. Because you believe in a God. I mean, how in the world they can convince you that there's a God, his name is Allah, and he is a true God, yet he want to give you a lot of women to have boom boom with them? Is that what God do?
yeah, that was I don't want to say it's hard to accept, but it just, the idea of heaven in Islam, it is a little bit not out of touch, but
so how you convert
yeah,
such a garbage cult? How you pass the point where everything is stupid? I mean, God, oh, I pray to Allah 5 times a day. I wake up in the morning. Don't miss the prayer, because if you miss the prayer, Allah will be angry. And then, brother, because you pray, in fact, they say only if you say Shahada, you will go to heaven anyway. So what the prayer for? Then they say to you, it's destiny, which means you pray, you don't pray, it doesn't matter. So what this is all about is all about contradiction and stupidity. It's a collection of a paganism ideas and contradictions of philosophy. It doesn't fit with itself. Islam is like a guy who went to a used clothes store. And he is so skinny. In the whole store, he could not find one jacket fit with his size. All of them, they are so big. What will I do? I need a jacket. He went to the pant. He could not find a pant with his size. The pant is so long. But the pant will fall down, so he tied it up with a rope. And he could not find a rope, so he used a cable. And then he said to himself, I need a hat, So I need to cover my head so I can look more professional. He could not find a hat fit with him. So he found a hat very, very big. When he put it inside his head, he was not able to see anything anymore. And this is what you did to yourself. Where you fit with this garbage cult? Can you tell me?
I'm guessing the way they do the prayer.
What the way the prayer is disgusting. You bend your head behind someone in front of you. If he fart, it's going to go in your nose. How this is a good prayer? Secondly, the way they do it is disgusting. Did you go to the mosque? Did you see how men they lift up their clothes, showing their balls and their testicles? Is that what you like to see?
No, I mean, if you're going to, you can pray from home.
Okay, no problem. But you said their prayer, okay, at home. So you pray at home, but shouldn't you know you are praying to who? Just a prayer?
Pray.
Same time, why I need to pray in certain ways, standing up, going down? Cannot I pray in different way?
I think it's just a religion teaching us how to pray.
Muhammad is not teaching you how to pray. Muhammad is copying others. This is how the Arab used to do, the pagan Arab before Islam, and they took it from the Buddhists. Go right now and watch how the Buddhists they pray. You will find it's exactly how the Buddhists they pray. Even the Hajj, the clothes they wear is the same as the Buddhists they wear. And they shave their head, the same exactly. Even the black stone, the Hindus and the Buddhists, they have a stone. And even they have a Kaaba. Everything is a copy of somebody else. So Muhammad, he took some from Christianity, some from the Jews, some from the Buddhists, from the Sabians, some from everybody. And the major sum he took is from the Arab who exist before him, which they themselves they took from others too. Like, you know, if we go to the Kaaba, do you know why the Muslim kiss the black stone?
They say it will erase your sin.
I thought you believe in one God. It turned to be you believe in one stone.
Yeah. Obviously, I didn't know this stuff. Then
so why a person will convert to a religion he do not know the stuff about this religion? What is your brain?
Yeah, my brain, I thought it would. Well, even if there is few things that sort of it does look kind of pagan, because you know it did come from a pagan religion, but they no longer do it says, hey, we can't. Before I didn't know that it would erase your sin. I only found that out afterward. Not afterward. It just obviously you learn the religion as you go. I thought I was being respectful. I thought I was sort of, hey, you know, I believe in. I don't want to say, hey, I believe in one God, but I thought my ideology was that very similar to that of Islam, where you don't need anyone else.
You are a Buddhist?
I don't want to say like I was a Buddhist or a Hindu or anything like that, but I did believe. Always, I would go to the Buddhist temple. I would go to the church when I was back home. So it wasn't. I didn't like stick to one religion.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
you remind me of Muhammad. You don't like to stick to one woman. I mean, what one religion? You see, are we here, there, like everywhere? Are we looking for a nightclub, restaurant? What is that? So, if you are a person serious, a serious thinker, you don't go here and there and there. I mean, there's no way all of them they are right. You know?
No, I would just say, hey, we worship the same God.
No, we don't worship the same God. What are you talking about? I mean, God is not just a word. God is what he stands for, you know? So when we say I worship God, then you need to know who is my God and what he stands for. My God, he says, you don't go and kill, you don't steal, you don't lie, you don't fornicate, you don't. Islam says all the opposite. Muhammad, he broke all the 10 commandments of God. So what worship one God? When all of us, we worship God, this is false. What if somebody worship the devil? What if somebody worship himself? The word God is a choice of you, who you consider him your boss. So you can say, I'm the boss of myself. I live as I wish. I do as I wish. I don't care about what God. You are God now. So believing in one God, or all at the end of the day we have one God, this is a big fat lie. We don't have one God. My God is a spirit. Their God is not. Their God is a physical being, but he is not a spirit, so he's dead. And look, Allah, he sent the black stone. He claimed that this stone will witness to Muslims in the day of judgment. But do you see the stone? Do you see the screen I'm showing? This is not the stone. This is wax. All the things you see there, only the black small dots, only those are the black stone, the leftover. So this is stupid God, who he claimed to be God, who he promised that the black stone will witness for Muslim in the day of judgment. He could not even preserve a stupid stone. And now this is what left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and like there's two of them connected, like six. That's it. Six little tiny stones. You know, that's it. There is no stones. Where's the stone? The rest is, all of this is wax. Shouldn't you go and kiss it now? Give me your address. I will send you a lot of wax. You can kiss it, you can lick it, you can use it for your shoes.
But I don't think, obviously, I would think that would be shirk if I do that.
Well, but you convert to this religion. It's not up to you. You are a Muslim now. When you say I became a Muslim, that's what you became. A black stone kisser.
But Islam does say here you can't. Not that you got. It just, you know, on the book it doesn't say, hey, you have to kiss the stone or anything like
If
that.
Muhammad
I think
himself, he kissed the stone, are you saying to me that the book is good, Muhammad is bad?
No.
Okay, so if Islam came from Muhammad, and Islam is to do as Muhammad did. So either Muhammad is right or Muhammad is wrong. So are you saying to me you don't want to do what Muhammad did?
Well, I became a Muslim because I don't want to worship like a stone or statue or pictures.
You are worshipping statues. You are worshipping stones. Oh, what they did, they told you there's a God there, but you kissed a stone here. Nothing changed. Same time, who is forcing you to kiss the stones? So if you are against worshipping images and pictures and idols, well, why you convert to an idol religion? Everybody bow down in front of this stone. Everybody go around this stone, and people die to go there to touch this stone and kiss it because it forgives their sin.
But the Muslim says the Kaaba is like a Qibla, apparently. So it means it just.
Who cares? This is even more. This is even more paganism, isn't it? God everywhere. What? First of all, if this is the case, the Kaaba exists before Islam. So why Muhammad? If this is not important, so why we have to go to the Kaaba? Why we need to do Hajj to the Kaaba? And why we have to do those rituals the Arab used to do? All the ritual they do is what the pagan Arab before Islam used to do. Every single one of them. In fact, even all the law of Muhammad he have in the Quran is coming from the Arab. Like cutting hands. Crucifixions. This is what the Arab do. If somebody steals, they cut his hand. But Muhammad was a big thief. This is what he do for a living. Why nobody cut his hand? So I say to you, my friend, only foolish people, they will convert to such a garbage religion. What do you feel about your Allah, your God? He promised you to have endless penis. Is that like your dream? Will it become true?
That's not my dream, no.
Why not? For me, I like it actually. For me, you know, I contacted the company, it's called Shell. They are an oil company. And I signed a contract with them. I told them I'm going to go to heaven. I will join ISIS. And Allah will make my penis so big in this. And I told them how big it is, you know. So we sign all inclusive, right? To use my penis when I'm not using it for personal use. They will use it to like import Coca-Cola, oil, you know, even Amazon shipping. I signed a contract with Amazon. Simply they put like the product inside the penis because it's big, so big. You know, you put whatever you want in the other side, in galaxy number 10, in 2 seconds, galaxy number 12, in 5 seconds. Depend on the galaxy. Like, you just give me the address, which galaxy is, and we will give you all the, you know, I mean, this is obviously, this is God. So this is the religion to convince you? Endless penis, and women have vagina is fit for that? You see, the penis is endless, the vagina is endless too. That means the women's thickness have to be endless too. How many billion kilometer, trillion, billion, whatever, all the kind of billion in the world this woman she will be? Because if her vagina will be endless, unless the vagina is coming out of her body by itself. How that is convincing for you? Just because somebody says to you, I have one God, and we believe in monotheism, that's it.
And they also say, obviously, Jesus Christ, he was one of the prophets of Allah as well.
Yeah, okay, he was the. So if Jesus was a prophet of Allah, how come he is not a pervert?
So yeah, no, I'm just saying. After reading the Quran, I do realize I did start to look into. I don't want to say, hey, I started looking into Christianity, but I did read a bit of Mark, and then something called Plasm. I don't know how to say it. Song of Plasm or something.
What?
Just to get a. Is the I said after reading the Quran, but obviously it does say Jesus is the Spirit of God or something along those lines.
Okay.
And is it like I don't think, but obviously when Jesus was alive, there was like a Christian religion. I'm guessing that's my understanding. I'm thinking he also brought Islam as well, but then the Romans sort of adapted his teaching, and then the Christians, especially the European Christian, did a lot of bad things during colonial
True
time.
story. True story. Who is the donkey who told you that? Give me the name of the donkey he said that to you. The Roman is the one who killed Jesus. The Roman, they were the one killing the Christians. The Roman have zero influence in Christianity for the 300 years before, in the time of Jesus. The first Christian, none of them is European. No,
Oh yeah,
not even one is European. Not even a single
no,
one. Who is the stupid
no, what
donkey who told you this information?
No. I understand what you're saying, and I do agree with the fact that hey, initially the Christianity was a Middle Eastern religion, but it's
It's
only
not a
later
Middle. No,
on.
this is wrong too. Christianity is not a Middle Eastern religion, and it is not a religion because Christ is a real person, is not an idea. So Christ, he is born in the Middle East, but he is the Lord of the world, the whole world. He is not the Lord of the Middle Eastern. But I'm just responding to what you said. You know, Benny, they lie. They say European is the one. No, it's the opposite. It is us, the Christians in the Middle East, who influence the European. It's the opposite. It is us who made the king of Rome become a Christian, not the king of Rome made us a Christian. So after all the discrimination the Christian they faced, they were victorious not by war. They did not conquer Rome by sword. They did not conquer all the cities around by attacking them and forcing people to convert. They conquered their heart. They showed them the love of Jesus. And that is a Christianity. Christianity is not a religion. You are thinking in a very silly way that Jesus is just a guy. He came, and then those Europeans, they come with ideas and they change Christianity. That's false. Nobody can change Christianity because Christianity is a Christ. Christ is first. The Bible is next. And even in Christianity, if we don't have a book, even if we don't have a Bible, Christianity is a Christ. The book is just to tell the story of a Christ. What he said, what he did. Otherwise, Jesus said that earth and heaven will be destroyed, will pass away. But my word will not. So the word of Jesus is a promise by him to be preserved. And the book is just a way, one of the ways to do it. The book is just to transform information from generation to generation. So you have a wrong idea, and you convert it to the most stupid cult in the world. And I feel sorry for you. Are you there?
Yeah, still yeah.
You want to stay a Muslim? I guess you should. I mean, you will get an endless penis, to be honest with you. You know, we can play Star War, me and you. Like you shoot with your endless penis and I shoot with my endless penis, and let us see who's going to win. What do you think? Like you go to galaxy number 110 and I go to galaxy number 305. And you use your endless penis and I use my endless penis. Let us see which penis will win the war. I mean, your God is very convincing. If I am you, I will never leave us now. And don't forget, when you die, they will put a piece of cotton in your ass. Why? Because there's 99 dragons. Each one of them have 9 heads, 7 heads, will go inside your anus. I'm really convinced. But by the way, if you read Quran, dragons cannot go inside your anus. So why they are putting this cotton? You know, once I was a kid, I don't know. I went to inside the house. There's a kid in my age there from my school. I saw a lot of people outside. I have no idea what's going on. So I went inside. I found a naked guy on the top of the table. And there's a piece of fabric coming from his anus. His skin was yellow. I was like, what is this? And then a guy, he screamed at me, he said, get out of here. You know? I was a kid. And I could not sleep for 2 days. Like, what was coming from his butt?
Was that a funeral?
Yeah, a funeral. Yeah, they will put something in your butt because there is 99 dragons will go inside your butt. Are you ready for that?
You are joking, or is actually say this dragon?
I am not. I'm not joking. There's a video. You can search it. You can go right now and search for something called the torment of the grave. The torment of the grave. All right. Let us see.
With the dunya, there are the question.
Question. Hold on. The torment. You will find a billion video in YouTube made by Muslims about it. But there is one of them actually is my favorite. Let me see if I can find it. There's a guy from Pakistan. He tell you about what will happen in the grave. Oh, hold on. This guy can be good too. Hold on. Oh, look, hold on. This guy will tell us something about the torment of the grave. Hold on, hold on.
To some of the punishments in the grave today and the causes for those punishments, so you and I can be free from it. Ya ikhwatul iman.
And look at the music in the back. What the heck is that? Supposedly this is holy. That will make it holy. This is called the 14th Symphony. Brother, what will happen? Like, how we can prevent the punishment of the grave? Please tell us.
The Prophet ﷺ said, and this is narrated by Imam Tahawi in his Mushkil al-Athar.
Really? Look how excited here. Narrated by this guy. Anyone heard of him? I mean, who is this guy? Anyway.
A person in his grave, it was commanded and it was ordered that he would be whipped 100 times.
Only. You are now dead in the grave. And they will whip you 100 times. Oh boy.
100 times he would be whipped. And the man continued to beg and beg and beg.
Please, Allah, please stop beating me. I'm dead now. Stop beating me. It's not right to beat me when I'm dead. Wait until I come back to life.
And beg Allah that the weight of this whipping be decreased, so it was not 100 whips anymore. It was reduced to only 1 whip.
What the heck? Reduced to only 1? The homosexual will not like that. See what happened when you beg? What the heck? It was 100 whip and now you beg for it. It became only 1? That's a good discount. That is a Middle Eastern market. What the price of the t-shirt? 100 pound. Come on. Okay, 90. Ah, come on. Okay, 80. Come on, man. Okay, 60. Ah, come on. You got this t-shirt from China. Okay, 40. Ah, come on. It's not even from China. I just look, it's good in Bangladesh. Okay, 10. Listen, 5. 6. Okay, 6. From 100 to... This is what happened to Muhammad. Allah gave him the 50 prayer. And then he met Musa's in the way. And Musa's, he gave him... Oh, yeah, we have the video here. The video is here. Yeah, this is my favorite video. Hold on, let me see if we can play this one. This one is better. I advise everybody to download this video. This is a priceless video. What? Shut up, idiot. The punishment of the grave.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Wa alaikum salam.
Rabbi shrah li sadri. Wa yassir li amri. Wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani.
I guarantee you he don't speak Arabic. He's just copying what the Quran is saying.
Yafqahu qawli.
So he's saying, oh Allah, open my tongue so my tongue can speak fluently. Open the knot on my heart so my heart can know what it says, brother.
My respected brothers and sisters, the topic for my today's talk will be punishment in the grave.
Ooh.
And how will be punished in the grave. Oof. And what will happen to the pious persons in the grave.
What?
Who lived according to the Islamic monotheism.
This is according to the Islamic monotheism? Oh, this is according to Islamic monotheism. Aha.
The first thing I would like to talk about over here is that, of course, we believe, not we believe, I don't know who believes or not, but according to logic and common sense.
According to logic, that's it. That's it. Islam is all about logic. Listen carefully. This is according to logic and common sense.
That the reason for us being in the grave is that there is something to come. Because if there is nothing to come, why would we die?
Like, why would die? Serious? There's no coming.
So from here, we can think or we can argue about one thing, that there is something after this world.
That's it. He convinced me that there is heaven and there is that's it. Because we die. That's okay. Continue.
And let me talk about a few of the punishments which will happen in the grave to the bad people. And
the bad people, not the good people. Notice carefully. This is happening to the bad people. Is that why your prophet, he slept with the mother of Ali naked? They asked him, "O Prophet of Allah, what are you doing? What are you doing, man?" He said, don't take me wrong. I'm trying to ease the pressure of the grave on her. That's deep. Any woman, she is pretty and she is young and she died lately, and you Muslims, you want to sleep with her in her grave naked so you can ease the punishment of the grave on her? Is that how you ease the punishment, really? So Muhammad, he sleep with her, she is now easy teasy? Muhammad, he will walk like a lotion. I don't want to speak dirty now because I don't know what I'm talking about. What lotion I'm talking about? So Muhammad go down with the women, and she is even a pagan. She is the mother of Ali. She don't believe in Muhammad God. She believe in Allah, but not Muhammad as a prophet. Oh boy. Continue.
those Spanish are, of course, very fearful.
Like a horse. What? Say it again. Man, do the horse movement.
To the bad people. And those Spanish are, of course, very fearful. And the punishment will start from here, that two angels will come.
Two angels, not three. One alone, he cannot do it. Two. One alone, he's weak. How they can control you? You are dead. Two angels.
They will ask you three questions.
Three questions. Two angels, three questions. I guess we will see that in the debate tomorrow with the dead Joe Biden. Joe Biden, we are the angels of the CNN. We will give you a very tough question. What is your last name? Joe Biden here will say, I'm Joe Biden husband. And where are we? Two angels will ask you 3 questions? Seriously?
First is, who is your Lord? Second,
Look at this serious question. And now supposedly the bad person, he will not be able to answer. Now he knew they are angels. He can lie. I mean, this guy is lying all his life. He can say Allah. Especially now we knew the questions. Imagine you go to the exam, already you know the correct answer. So you can pass. So all what you need to do now, you say Allah. That's it. You pass, number 1. Okay, what's second question, brother?
what is your religion?
Islam. This is the second one. I pass.
Third, who is this person?
Muhammad. This is Muhammad. Isn't this the picture of Ahmadinejad?
And they will show you a face of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
And how you know that this Muhammad? You Muslims ever saw him? I mean, this is how stupid the question, the story is anyway.
Peace and blessings be upon him. When the angels will ask you the first question, who is your Lord? People will answer, I don't know.
What the hypocrite people? You do not know Allah? How dare you? What will happen, brother?
Ma'adri.
What the
This
heck?
is in Arabic, Ma'adri means I don't know.
Oh, he speak Arabic. And Ma'adri mean I don't know. That's a good one.
They will ask, what is your religion? You will say, Ma'adri. I don't know.
That's it. This guy idiot stuck with the word I don't know.
Who is this person? Ma'adri. I don't know.
He failed all the 3 questions. He did not even pass one. Disaster. He did not even get D. Oh boy.
And the angels will hit you with a hammer between your 2 ears, meaning on your face.
Oof.
Now from here, if you see that those hammers
The angels will hit you with the hammer between your face. You are dead now. Remember that. Okay, brother, what will happen? Is the ambulance coming?
will be of steel. And it will
The hammer is made of steel? Oh boy. I was hoping it's made from silicone. Okay.
be kind of big and quite heavy. And if you hit your face from your hand like this,
Look what he's doing. He's hitting his face for real. I feel sorry for those people.
on your face, you feel a little bit of pain. And if you hit hard on the nose or on this part, you will feel a lot of pain. And think how much hard will they hit you from the hammer.
Brother, are you kidding me? I do not need to think about it. You do it for us and show us.
They will hit you with so much force that your head will blow into parts. And then they will join again and they will hit you again. They will
Again?
keep hitting you for a while. And if a person thinks that with how much force and velocity will they hit me, that hammer, that with only one hit, my head is gonna break up into pieces.
2 pieces? Oh boy.
Okay, then from then there will come snakes
Really?
in the grave.
Ah.
And those
Now we are talking. The snakes. Those are dragon, by the way, not snakes. He's saying snake, they are dragons. Brother, what the snakes will do?
snakes are not snakes which are found in this world.
Ah, they are snakes from Harry Potter.
They are snakes which will come from hell.
Hmm.
There will be 90 snakes.
90. Liar, not 90. It's 99, and each one of them have 7 head, and every head have other 7 head. Anyway, the number will be endless. Continue, continue.
Each snake with 9 heads.
Oof, 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 oof. 90 snake with 9 head. Somebody use the calculator. All of those will do what? Brother, what they will do?
And those snakes are so full of poison that it is said by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that if one of those snakes bite the earth, this earth,
Uh-huh.
then till the day of Qiyamah, means till the last day, that the whole earth will never ever bring out any greenery.
Please, please do it. Can you contact this snake now? Because I want to kill all the mosquitoes in my territory. So if one snake, she bite the earth, the whole earth, just one snake, bite the earth, the whole earth will have no life until the day of judgment, brother. Prophet Muhammad says that. Must be true. That's a very absolute, powerful poison. Can go through the nerves of the earth. I think it's going to go to the magma too.
Everything will be rotten, and no one will be able to harvest any plants or any trees or something. The earth will be so much poison. It will be full of so poison.
Brother, is that uranium? Uranium snake? Uranium snake? What the name of the snake? Uranium? What, you know?
And they will keep biting you. Snakes will keep biting you from day till night if you don't pray, if you don't worship. And each bite, they will, the snakes will bite you. It will take you 70 yards beneath the earth.
That's deep. 70 yards beneath the earth each time they bite you. So now you are in the grave, and now you are going to go down another 70, and each time they bite you. So how many bite? Listen, listen. 90 snakes, each, according to him, each one of them have 9 heads. I mean, how many 70 years will go down? How many 70 kilometers? Oh boy. Brother, don't you think that the more deeper we are, the more horrible the punishment it is? I mean, I think the punishment in the 2nd floor is better than the punishment in the 20th floor down. What do you think, brother?
I mean, a man, no matter how much powerful he might be, he grabs something and throws it on the earth. Or
hey, brother, sniff, yeah. Yeah, the Prophet used to clean his snot with his clothes. I can show you the hadith. Even I can show you where the snot is on the wall of the Kaaba. Praise be to Allah. The snots of the Muslims.
on the street, he can hardly bring a crack on it. Or maybe...
Muslims, the only word is used in this story is accurate, is the word crack. I believe your prophet, he used to take a lot of cracks. Cocaine, heroin, you name it. True story.
move in 1 centimeter or hardly like that, and that snake will take you 70 yards beneath the earth, and you will go beneath the earth, piercing the earth, piercing the surface of the earth. Your body will go 70 yards down, and then the snake will bring it back, and then he's gonna bite you again. This is gonna happen.
Oh boy.
Imagine 90 snakes biting you. Each snake have 9 heads and 1 scorpion.
Oh boy.
And that,
look at this team. 90 snake with 9 head and 1 scorpion. Just 1? Allah only sent 1. Why 1? Like, is he out of, bugs? I mean, only 1 scorpion? Why? Maybe there's too many Muslims. He cannot afford to bring them more scorpion. How come the snake is 9 head? What about the scorpion? How many head he have? Tell us,
that scorpion is so much poisonous that there is a... This is a true story, by the way.
By the way, this is a true story. Okay? I'm serious. This is a true story.
That once in Saudi Arabia,
Yeah?
there was a person who once hit a camel.
Oh,
and it is famous about the camel. The fact about the camel. If you hit the camel is gonna take revenge.
Ooh.
Be careful. So there was this guy in Saudi Arabia. He once hit a camel, and then at night,
What his name? Shabir Ali?
when he was about to sleep, he remembered that, oh man, I hit that camel. And when he was peeking out of the out of his door, he saw the camel standing outside.
So look what happened. He hit the camel and he went home. He looked from the window. The camel is waiting for him outside. Oh boy. He is inside, the camel is outside, and the camel is waiting to take revenge. Look, the camel did not take revenge immediately. No, no, no. He followed him to see where he lived, his address. He took his address, he took his name, he took his, all the information about his family, and he is waiting outside. And brother, what happened next?
And he knew that camel is gonna catch me, man. I need to run.
The guy, he said, the camel is going to catch me. I need to run. He's inside the house. Don't go out. Hey, brother, you never heard that you can kill a camel by a knife or a sword? I mean, isn't it the Arab, they eat camels? Just kill the camel. Why you need to run? Okay, brother, so what happened? What happened?
He was in a tent. He was not in a house.
Oh, a second ago, he was in the house. Oh, he's in a tent now. Ah, that make a difference. That make a difference. I mean, where he would go? There's no door. It's a tent. You have to run. So, brother, continue. True story.
So he began running, and while running, the camel started to follow him. And the camel was following, and the man went to a graveyard.
Here we go. The idiot, he ran to a graveyard. The camel said, "Oh, you think he can escape from me? Oh, in the graveyard, you idiot." So, brother, what happened next? Guys, I should charge you for this, to watch this series. I will make it a series in the movie. This is the graveyard movie, is going to be in the theater very soon. All right?
And in the graveyard, he saw a grave which was a little bit weak. I mean, it was.
Why, brother? Why this grave was weak? How come this grave specifically was weak, brother? Yeah, what happened? The grave was weak. I mean, the story have to complete each other. Like, like all things work together. So he went to the graveyard, and there's a grave is like a little bit weak. Like, what do you mean he can open it and get in? Oh, now we understand how easy it was able to get in. It was weak. Oh, okay.
It was not, you can say, hard or firm. So he broke the grave and he went inside. And inside he saw a scorpion, a small scorpion.
What the heck? So he escaped the camel to meet the scorpion? I mean, how lucky this guy is. And is that the scorpion will come in the day of judgment, brother?
Strange kind of scorpion, and he was stinging the dead body.
Uh-oh.
And
the scorpion was in the grave? This is the scorpion Allah promised. This is the scorpion will sting you in the dead when you are dead body. He was doing his job. So the guy, he go in the grave. Oops, there's a dead body, and there's a scorpion, and the scorpion like boing, boing, boing. He's just biting, hitting, stinking. Okay, what happened next, brother?
And he got a little bit afraid.
A little bit? You will scare the hell of me if I'm there, man. What a little bit?
That scorpion came out of the grave. And
where he's going? He did not finish his job. Did he finish his shift? Where are you going?
He saw the camel coming. He sting the camel. And the camel.
Things is getting complicated. The scorpion came out of the grave. He saw the camel outside. He said, bingo, I got a customer. He went to the camel. He sting the camel. Oh. See, he did not stick the human. No. I thought the guy was in the grave. Should he sting first the guy who jumped inside his business? No, he did not do that. He get out. He saw the camel. He say, camel, assalamu alaikum. The camel did not respond. The scorpion get upset. He sting him. Okay, brother, what happened to the camel?
All of a sudden died. And it is.
The camel immediately died. One stingy scorpion, bingo. Brother, it's true story.
Famous about the camel that if a snake or any deadly animal bites or stings the camel, it takes at least 7 to 8 days for the camel to die, because camel absorbs the poison very slowly. And when the scorpion sting him, he
Yeah,
died.
I can witness that Arab camels, they are so, his blood is so slow. So he observed slow. But in this case, because this is scorpion from the Allah, he died immediately.
At once. And then the man came outside, he saw the camel is dead, he got...
Stop. So now the guy, he was watching from the grave. He saw that the scorpion killed the camel. Bingo, it is party time. So he came from the grave, and look what he did, this idiot. He hit the camel with his foot. Big mistake. Big mistake. He hit the camel with his foot. Stupid.
When the scorpion sting him, he died at once. And then the man came outside, he saw the camel is dead, he got happy and he kicked the camel with anger. And when he kicked the camel,
Yeah.
his feet till the ankle melted because of the poison.
Because of the poison, brother. His feet and his ankle melted. Literally melted. Like, became liquid. This is a true story. Brother, when this movie will be over, so we can go back to our topic. Can you please finish, like, what happened next?
Listen, the camel's body became so much poisonous that his feet till the ankle which he hit melted.
Oh boy.
At the very spot. And that kind of scorpion is gonna sting us. Oh,
Oof.
man.
Oof.
So,
Oh.
from here we can see how much horrible will the scene be. And the good thing about the pious person is, if you worship,
Listen carefully now. Now, this is how you protect yourself from those things in the grave. Brother, tell them. This is the recipe we are waiting for.
Is if you worship, your worships are going to save you from the snakes and the scorpion from your left hand side.
So if you pray to Allah, brother, it protect you from where? Where? Hold on. Say again, please.
Are going to save you from the snakes and the scorpion from your left hand side.
Ah, from the left side, left hand side. Okay.
If you give charity, your charity will save you from snakes and camel on the top.
Oh, okay.
If you don't lie, speak truth, and do righteous deeds,
Yeah.
those will help you from the snakes and scorpion coming from the right hand side.
Oh.
And if you read the Quran, that will help you from the bottom.
The Quran will protect the butt? Brother, didn't you forget the back? You said the left, you said the front, you said the right, and now you said the bottom. What is the back? And the Quran will protect your anus? And now I know what the Quran is used for. The anus protection is kind of condom, but in the wrong direction. Brother, what about the back?
So these are the only things which can save you.
Well, what are you talking about? You said the left, you said the right side, you said the front, you said the bottom. What about the back? Hello? Abdullah? Are you there?
Yeah.
You are,
Yeah.
Do you like your religion, my friend?
These are like new things to me, so yeah.
Yeah, what?
But not what I was just gonna say, to be not that to be honest, but it's like, let's say, I don't think of myself as like I'm like an anti-religion person where I'm gonna be like, if you come and tell me like, I don't know, hey, Jesus died for your sin, he's a good guy, blah
Focus
blah
with me,
blah.
focus with me. Do you like your religion as a Muslim, yes or no? I did not ask you about Jesus now.
I think what he's saying, it don't really make any sense to me, because I believe like after you die, you're a spiritual being, like you're not gonna feel what the dead body feels. You are just gonna, move on to the
But
next thing.
but when you convert to Islam, what makes sense to you? I mean, this is the story now. Does it make sense? Everything in Islam doesn't make sense. If there's one thing in this garbage cult makes sense, give me one.
Like, you see, like a lot of the people in like
Like
India, in Asia.
Like what?
I say lot of the people
Lot?
who convert to Islam in India, in Asia.
Yeah.
So like Buddhism, that's like a monotheistic religion, and
So,
then you've got
but you see, I mean, you are not even. I don't know what your IQ. I said to you, give me one reason to convert to Islam. So now you convert to a religion just because they believe in one God. So if somebody believe only Krishna is God, the only God is a Krishna, we will go. This is monotheism. There's millions of religion in India.
Yeah, there is many other religion, but you see in Hinduism, there's like something called a 12 of Hinduism, just like
my friend.
in Islam.
I said to you, give me one thing in Islam is convincing. You said to me monotheism.
That's what, if you ask any Muslim, they would say, hey, it's a monotheistic religion.
But shouldn't you know, first of all, who care about monotheist? This is a stupid idea, because he is one or two or three. This is not the question, if he is true or not. So if the God of Islam is one, but he is one idiot. Okay, I'm one. Here we go. You want to worship me?
No, in that sense.
No, I'm serious. I'm one. I'm serious. I mean, I don't even have a mirror in my house, so there's no way to duplicate me. Even my dad, he said to my mom, how we got this kid? She said, I didn't know. It's your mistake. So if you are looking for one person to worship, go ahead. I have a leg.
Not even
I have a leg.
person.
I have a leg. It's hairy. Allah have a leg. We don't know if it's hairy or not. Allah have two hands. I have two hands. Allah have 5 fingers. I have 5 fingers. Allah is an idiot. I can be an idiot if I want. Do you like an idiot God?
No, but Islam does say here you can't worship any pictures or statues, stuff like that.
Where in Christianity it says you can worship pictures or statues?
I haven't read the Bible
No. First of all, where in Islam it says don't worship pictures or statues?
That's the core message of Islam, isn't it?
That's false. This is the Quran. Hold on. This is the Quran. The Muslim, they believe that there's a prophet, his name is Sulaiman. And Allah commanded Sulaiman to build a temple. And in the temple of Sulaiman, there's a statues. And the Muslims, they try to hide that in their translation.
But that was before Mohammed.
So before Muhammad, Islam was not monotheist, and then after Islam became monotheist after Muhammad. Isn't this guy supposedly a Muslim prophet? Like what?
Yeah,
Islam is fixing itself now.
That's what I thought. That's what I understood when I read the Quran.
No. Hold on. If this guy was a Muslim and his God is Allah and Allah command him, so is the statues is forbidden or not?
So before not that before I believe, for Muhammad, for most of his life was, I'm guessing he would call it a pagan Arab, and then when he received the revelation, that's when he destroyed all the statues in the Kaaba and made Islam a monotheistic religion.
False. Islam is not monotheist because simply Allah and Akbar are two gods. Akbar is the sun god. Allah, Lah, is the moon god. So what Muhammad he did, he unified two gods in one religion, Allah and Akbar. And as you see in the front of you, this is supposedly a Muslim prophet, and he built the house of Allah full of statues, not only one, not only two, not only three. And even the Muslims' interpretation for the verse, they say those statues was for prophets of Allah.
Islam forbids like worshipping of idols.
Where do you get this from?
And
So what is those statues in the house of Allah?
but now that's why Islam only have like one Kaaba now, where they don't have these statues or pictures.
My friend,
They
listen.
remove
I don't want to be insulting, but we are being very stupid. Let us, for the sake of argument, Muslim, they don't have statues. How that prove Islam to be you from God? I mean, I don't know how stupid you are. I don't have statues in my house. Okay, I'm God. Worship me now. That is the most stupid argument ever. You are very confused. You are very silly, and you have a brain of a child, like a mosquito. So now, if there is a guy, and I just showed you that they have a statues. The Kaaba itself is a statues. The black stone is a statues. The Kaaba, the black stone, is a vagina. Is made in the shape of a vagina. And you keep saying to me they don't have statues. So why they kiss the black stone? Because they are against the statues and they're against the stones. So we are against the stones, but we go around the stone, we bow to a stone, we kiss a stone. When we leave the stones, is the right hand of Allah is going to forgive our sin. And yet you say to me that Muslims are not pagan.
Now I'm saying like Muslim don't
I don't
believe
care what
in
Muslims
like
say, I'm asking you. So when they kiss the stone, is that a statue or not?
That would be shirk.
What shirk? Muhammad, he did it. Muhammad himself, he kissed it. You are a follower of Muhammad. So you are lying to yourself, convincing yourself of something is not there. Oh, I'm going to follow them because they don't have statues. I come in from Sri Lanka. They have a lot of statues in the Buddhist, temple. So now finally I found a place. No, you have bigger filthy statues. This is a vagina. The black stone is a vagina. So now you are kissing you're a vagina kisser. Literally. And you lie to yourself that, oh, I'm not now a pagan. I asked the Muslims in their website once. I made a video about it. I posted online. I asked them, hey, I have a question. Why Prophet Muhammad kissed the black stone? Took them 5 minutes to answer. They say because it's holy. And then I asked right away. I said, and why it's holy? He said, took them another 5 minutes. And they said, because he kissed it. Every Muslim give you different answer because they are ashamed and they are lying to their teeth about why they are being pagan. They will say to you, some Christian, they have pictures and statues, but nobody worship it. Same time, this is not from the Bible. Nowhere Jesus said, go and make a picture of Mary or make a picture of me. Nowhere Jesus or the disciple, they did that. And the Bible is clear about that. The Bible says, no, make no image in what up in heaven or down in earth. Make no image. That is the Bible forbid. The Quran is coming with a new cult, new false religion. They claim that they have a God, but his name is La. This is the moon God. They claim that they are monotheists, but in fact they worship Muhammad. In fact, they elevate Muhammad above Allah. Allah, he says something, Muhammad, he says something. Which one the Muslim they say? They take what Muhammad said. At the end of the day, what Allah said and what Muhammad said is the same thing because Muhammad is Allah. And you keep arguing, saying stupid things for me. But anyway, I mean, if you want to be stupid, you're stupid. What I can say. Yeah?
Yeah. It just I get your point. Yeah, man, I've got nothing else to say.
So you have nothing to say? You want to stay a Muslim?
Like, okay, let's say I've already become Muslim. There is no going back as far as I'm concerned.
Why there's
Not that
no,
I'm
why
contesting.
there's no coming back? Why?
Like you said, hey, you look stupid from one faith to another. It just
Okay, Abdul, just stay stupid. So he's saying if I leave, I will look stupid too. So you decide to stay stupid anyway. That's good for you. The stupid is the one who spoke to someone like you. That is me. It's a stupid of me to speak to someone stupid like you. Just because they don't, you know, they say to you they don't have pictures. Because the black stone, they bought the stone, they go around the stone and they worship Muhammad. In Islam, if you insult Muhammad, they will kill you. If you insult Allah, no. Who is God? Do we have any sheikh from Indonesia? Or from Hezbollah?
Run, boy. That's your bully right here.
We have a guy here. He can explain anything for you in the Quran. Is that correct?
You got to run now?
Okay, hold on. Last time you called me, you said I deleted the video.
Right.
You spoke to me, correct?
Yes, you did.
Okay, what was the question?
The question was, can we blacken a black person?
No, it was about noon.
It was about blackening a black.
No, it
You
was
said
about.
the
That was
faces are
about.
going to be
Okay, okay.
blackened.
Did I ask you in the same video about noon? No, no, no. Did I ask you about noon?
You asked me who is Zanoon. I said yes. I said that would. I forget his name. I said that's the one that was swallowed by the whale.
All right.
That's it.
Where it's you who said. Okay, guys, it's you who said. It is you who said.
You black
You
and a
accept.
black.
Hold on,
Answer the
guys.
question.
I want you to record this. I want you to record it. Are you recording?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
You guys, he just
You
said.
black and a black.
Hold
Don't
on.
run now.
Don't try to escape.
What are you running for?
Hey, no.
You're talking about the video that you deleted.
You
right?
said this is the one who's swallowed by the whale. Where it says
Yes.
who is that person in the Quran?
Jonah.
Where it says that?
Yunus, chapter Yunus. It says it all over the Quran. Are you slow? He has a chapter on his own.
No. I said to you, listen. He have a chapter in his own.
Yes. You don't know that?
But why are you saying to me Jonah if he have a different name? What's his name really? What's his name?
Yunus.
Okay, how Jonah become Yunus?
Just the way like Yahshua become Jesus.
Okay, no. This is false. You're different. In that language, they don't have letters. In that language, they don't have equal letters. So I'm asking you now, where here you said, hold on, you said that the noon is, you are the one who say you take the Quran only. You take the Quran only. This is the chapter.
Holy Spirit?
This is the chapter in front of you, where it says.
Where is your Holy Spirit? Calm down.
Where it says that this is Jonah. Where it says this is Jonah.
Is ultimate whooping you with the Holy Spirit? Calm down. Even with the Holy Spirit, you agitate.
Silly. You know,
look, calm down.
If you want to make a mockery, I can make a mockery of you. So now, where it says this is Jonah, go ahead.
I'm whooping you with your Holy Spirit together.
Go ahead.
Calm down. Show me that you got knowledge.
Sure. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Go down.
Calm down.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Read the verse.
You read it. I don't know how to read.
I told you I'm having a problem reading your things.
Really?
Yes, I told you that.
But you said
I told you I have a restriction.
But you said you know the whole Quran.
Okay, let me read it.
Okay.
And what verse is it? I got it from my book. I can read it from your screen.
Read it from the screen. It's in front of you.
Just give me the reference. Chapter 21, verse what?
87.
Yeah, 87. 91. And Zanoon, okay, abandoned his mission in protest.
Say it again. Say it again.
I'm reading the
Zanoon. Say it again. Say the name again. Say the word again.
Zanoon.
Zanoon. This is gold. Okay,
What is
okay.
it?
So who is the Noon? And you are a person who believe in the Quran only.
It's Jonas.
How
J
you know?
Noon.
How you know that the Zanoon is Jonas?
Okay, look. Keep reading. It's not complicated.
No, it's really?
Abandoned his mission in protest, thinking that we could have no control on him.
What is what?
He ended up. Listen. He ended up imploring from the darkness.
And
Okay, there is no God other than you. Be you glorified. I have committed a gross sin. We responded to him and saved him from the crisis. We just saved the believers.
And
now, if you go now to chapter Jonas now, let me take you there.
I
told you he had a chapter.
Okay.
I'm your bully, brother. Yeah, I'm the one that making you remove your 7 hours of life.
Okay.
And
okay.
that was the first time.
Read for me. Read for me. Okay, go ahead.
Alif Lam Ra.
What the heck?
These letters as a proof of this book.
Alif Lam Ra.
Just let me go to it. Yeah, that's chapter Jonas.
Okay.
Jonah.
All right. Where is the story about Jonah? Are you going to read for me the whole chapter?
Yes.
What?
Let me get there. I don't want to read.
Alif Lam Ra? How you know? Listen carefully, Potato. You said you believe in the Quran only. How you know?
Sir.
Hold on, Potato. How you know that the story in chapter 21, verse number 87 about someone, his name is Jonah?
How do you know how to spell Jonah and Zanun?
Shut up. Answer me. Where is
He's
how
the
you
only
know?
one.
I don't know how to spell anything. You spell it. So now tell me how you know, Potato, how you know that listen, it is you who said you don't accept any story unless it is from the Quran.
Yes, sir.
All right. So how you know that this chapter here is speaking about Jonah?
Only throughout the Quran, one messenger protested against the will of God and was swallowed by the whale and was into the darkness. That's Jonah.
Where is the story, guys? Did he swallow by the whale? Did he say that?
Yes.
All right.
You didn't know that?
So how you know that this is Jonah? Here doesn't say the word whale.
I said he implored in the darkness, and he the one that protested.
Listen,
that went against
many people. They can be in the darkness. Darkness. It can be many meaning. Does it say inside the ocean? Yeah. No. Does it say inside the whale? No. How you know that this is about Jonah?
If I say some guy drove here in a white Jeep, and there is a red flag on the top of the Jeep. So if I say
Abdul, don't
one messenger,
it's you.
Let me
you
reason.
Said, don't kill me. Red flag. Red flag. Your prophet have red flag in the top of his house. He was a prince.
Where is your Holy Spirit?
I'm asking
what you for?
How you know? You are the one who said you accept. You are the one who said.
I'm talking for 10 seconds. You're cutting me off.
You are a hypocrite. You are a hypocrite. How you know? Don't tell me the flag. Tell me the story. Show me the story from the. Don't tell me the flags. Where is the story in the Quran?
The story of Yunus in the Quran?
What?
I told you let's go to chapter Yunus.
We went to chapter Yunus. Listen, Potato.
Huh?
How you know that this is a verse about a guy, his name is Jonah?
Because the guy who's named Jonah is the only messenger in the Quran that rebelled against the decision of God.
Really?
He's the one that was swallowed by the whale. Listen,
okay, hold on.
And I have 1 minute. And I have 1 minute to speak.
Hold on.
I whoop you with the Holy Spirit. I whoop you with the Holy Spirit, bro.
Where in the verse? It mentions any of the story you are talking about.
CP. So are you saying that the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit not together cannot help me? Give my minute.
Abdul, you see, you are a person who said,
can I have my minute?
Can I have my minute? 1,000 times. Admit now you are taking the story. Admit.
Every day, all day.
I'm asking you,
let me speak
where
for 1 minute.
You can find that the person, the noon, is Jonah. Where we can find that definition?
Can I have my minute to speak? Or are you gonna cut me
but
after
don't give me a
6
speech. Give me the answer.
I said
Uh-huh.
there's one and one only messenger throughout the Quran
Uh-huh.
that rebelled against the decision of God.
That's false.
And was plunged.
That
Yes.
is false.
Show
That's
me.
false.
Show me another one.
Open
I
chapter
whoop you again.
open chapter 66, verse number 1.
You read it. Read it. You show me.
Allah said to Muhammad, why you forbid yourself what I did not ask you to forbid? That means he's going against the will of Allah.
I said rebelled against the decision of
Yes,
God.
this is rebelled. He's doing something for
Sinning.
he is forbidden.
Sinning is not rebelling.
To go rebellion against God. This is what Adam did. Adam
Listen to me.
Hold on. Adam did not rape. Adam just ate from the tree according to your prophet, and that made him rebellion. So listen. I'm asking you where we can find. People are laughing. Where we can find that this is Jonah. Where we can find this is Jonah.
You're talking 99% of the time.
This is from
I'm
the
whipping the
hadith.
shit out of you.
Isn't it? This is from the hadith.
You acting like a little kid.
Isn't it? This is from the hadith.
I'm your bully.
Okay.
Can I speak?
In front of everybody, can you show me where in the Quran it says that Mr. Noon, the guy, the Noon, is Jonah?
It's like saying which is Christian apologetics that ultimately through have whooped so hard that he started calling me daddy. Daddy
you,
cool. You know, it's Christian Prince.
I'm losing my patience.
That's
Guys,
it.
Is it fair? I'm asking him how we know who is this guy, Mr.
Which Christian apologetic?
Okay, hold on.
Ultimately through have whooped so hard he started calling him daddy cool. Who is it? Give me a name.
Listen.
Give me a name.
I want the answer.
That's the pig, right? That's you, right? Right?
What?
Right?
What?
Which if
get out of here, son of Muta. See, guys, he lied. He said he don't accept the hadith, but there's no way to know who is this guy. What the noon? What even noon mean? If I bring him back and I ask him what noon mean, what noon mean? In order to understand, either he have to go and read the story from the Bible, which Muhammad, he stole the story from there, and he changed the name of Jonah, suddenly became Yunus. How will you know who is this guy? The only way to know what they are talking about is you go to the tafsir. Then the name will appear. Otherwise, as you see the whole chapter in front of us, where is the story of the guy? How will we know this is him? And if we go to the chapter of so-called Yunus, we will not find that story too. T, are you a Muslim? I hope you recorded that, Ultimate Fort.
Hello, Christian Prince.
Hello.
I'm ex-Muslim, actually. I heard one story from you that Safa and Marwa, it's tomb of two lovers, and I cannot find any evidence of that.
No problem. This is in chapter 2:158. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. This is 2. This is 158. See, everything about Islam, you cannot understand the Quran unless you go to the books which have nothing to do with the Quran, really. This is how hypocrite those people in synagogue like Ultimate Fort. He say he don't accept the tafsir, he don't accept the hadith, but there is no way to understand Islam unless you go to those books. And even, by the way, even if you read them, you will get even more confused. You won't even understand. But you can get some ideas about what they are talking about. So here we have in front of us, this is the official government website of the Kingdom of Jordan. Is the screen clear to you?
Yes, it's clear.
Here it says, Anas ibn Malik said, we dislike going between As-Safa and Al-Marwa because they were the shrines of Quraysh. So those are spiritual shrines for the pagan Arab. Clear?
Yes.
In the pre-Islamic period. So we abandoned them in Islam. So the Muslims did not practice this for a while. They were not important and they ignored them. Suddenly, what happened? What happened is a group of Muslims who like to practice this ritual. They asked Muhammad, we want to do it. And Muhammad don't want to lose them. So he said, it is not a sin to do As-Safa and Al-Marwa. It is the shrine of Allah. But as you see, it is the shrine of Quraysh. Then Allah revealed this verse. Said Ibn Habashi, I asked Ibn Umar about this verse, and he said, go to Ibn Abbas and ask him. The later said, which means Ibn Abbas, there was on As-Safa an idol in the form of a man called Esaf, and on Al-Marwa an idol in the form of a woman called Naila. Do you see it? The people of the book claim that's false. We Christians have nothing to do with those. What book? We don't have a practice such a thing. That those had committed adultery in the Kaaba, and as punished, but most Christians don't believe in Allah, and this is proof to you that this is the pagan Arab, as the verse here says. This was the shrine of Quraysh. Have nothing to do with the Christians. Quraysh are not Christians. So those two, they have committed fornication inside the Kaaba, and Allah, he punished them, and he turned them into two stones which were placed, one in a Safa and one is Al-Marwa. So the people can take head, but after a long time had passed, they worship instead of Allah. So now people here, they are worshiping those two idols. One is an As-Safa and one is an Al-Marwa. One, the man, his name is Esaf, and the woman, her name is Naila. As you see, the woman, her name is Naila. The guy, his name is Esaf. But
Thank you
after a
very
long
much, Christian.
time,
Thanks.
huh?
Thank you very much. Yeah.
And let me give you the link so next time you don't say I cannot find it. Why you left Islam, my friend?
Actually, I left Islam before, now I'm an atheist.
But why you leave Islam? Don't you like to have your penis endless, like ultimate fart?
No. It's because of I read the Quran. That's why, and Hadith and everything. But before that, our sheikhs or mullahs, they said don't read the Quran on your own because of you cannot understand. You have to learn from us and something like that.
All right. Okay, thank you very much for joining. I'm happy for you. I hope soon you will find the truth, and the truth will set you free, and the truth is Jesus, my friend. Those who they were watching the screen was blocked with this picture. Sorry for that. I did not notice. As you see, this is the story. This is the official government website of the Kingdom of Jordan. This is the book of Asbab al-Nuzul, and we can find the same story in many books, not only here. But this one is in English. The rest are in Arabic. That's why I'm using it. Obviously, As-Safa and Al-Marwa, which is a very important practice in the Hajj of the pagan Muslims today, is nothing but the shrine of the pagan people of Quraysh. And it says that clearly. So you ask yourself, if the pagan, they practice exactly what the Muslim they practice, so who is the pagan? The pagan, they go around the Kaaba. The pagan, they kiss the black stone. The pagan, they bow in the front of the Kaaba. The pagan, they believe the stone forgive them. The pagan, especially when women, she cannot have babies, she go naked around the Kaaba, men and women, perform sexual activities. The women, when she have her period, she go touch her vagina and she place her hand inside the black stone, praying to Baal, the god of fertility, to make her vagina full with babies. So 99% of the practice of the pagan Quraysh is still what the Muslim they do. Throwing rocks at the shaitan house, the pagan they used to do. Everything they do is what the pagan did before Islam. If you ask this potato, ultimate fart, what is a Safa al-Marwa? He said he accept only the Quran. Correct? Okay. So what is the Safa al-Marwa? Ultimate fart, are you listening? Ultimate fart. Do you dare to join us in the stage and tell us where you can find what is a Safa and what is al-Marwa? Where are you? You will never dare. Those potatoes, they claim that they believe only in the Quran, and they don't accept hadith, they don't accept tafsir. But as you see, Islam is a very stupid religion. There is nothing in the Quran. If anyone now want to know what is Safa and what is al-Marwa, how will you know? Where we can find the story? The stupid ultimate fart, he said to me, when I said to him the Quran says will make you black, he says, can you blacken a person who is black? Well, first of all, your stupid prophet was talking to the Arab, promising the white Arab to go to heaven. He never mentioned you to go to heaven. All his audience is white Arab. This is why he is threatening that the one who don't believe in him, Allah will make him black. If Muhammad was speaking to African and he was African, he would never mention that. But because the audience are white Arab, he said to them, Allah will blacken your face. That was a threat in the Quran, as many threats Muhammad he said, and they are false. As an example, Muhammad always he used a scare tactic when he was not in the shape of going to war. So he said to the Christians and the Jews, if you don't believe in me, look what Allah will do to you very soon. This is not in the day of judgment. O ye into whom the scriptures has been given, believe in what have revealed, confirming which you possess. You see here the verse, confirming what we possess. You see it? Before we destroy countless, so as confound them, of course, or curse them, as we curse the people of. By the way, the translation is absolutely false. Look at this translation, where it says we make you, we erase your eyes, we erase your brows, we erase your mouth, we make you backward, forward. It's gone. Change the translator. This is big tal, just to show you how it changing the translation changed the whole book. Remember, all Muslim translation is false. Look what happened now. We just changed the translator. Jews and Christians believe in what we have revealed to Muhammad, between two brackets, SWO, W, confirming what is with you, before we efface your faces. By making them like the back of your neck, without nose, without mouth, without eyes, etc. Why Allah did not do his promise? A Muslim, he might say to you, oh, it did not happen now because Allah will do it in the day of judgment. False. How we know? Read, continue reading. The same as we did to the people who broke the Sabbath. Allah did not wait until the day of judgment to make them pigs and monkeys. He did it immediately in the same day when they broke the Sabbath. So Muhammad is a big fat liar. He made a threat to scare the Christians. If you don't believe in me, Allah will erase your faces, will make your face have no nose, no eyes, no mouth, will make your head backward, forward, as a penalty. The same Allah he did to the Jews, who Allah made them pigs and monkeys for they broke the Sabbath. And that will take us to other stupid story of Muhammad. According to stupid Muhammad, in chapter 2, verse number 65, those who broke the Sabbath, they just broke the Sabbath. Right away, Allah, he made them monkeys. In the translation, they are using the word apes. In Arabic, it says clearly the word qirada, which means monkeys. Who in the world want to believe such a garbage story? Where Muhammad gets this stupid story from? This is a story the Jews, they tell their kids to scare them, so they don't eat wrongly, don't do wrongly, don't break the law. They scare them with things. Don't go far from the house, there is a beast will eat you. The stupid Muhammad, he took the story, which is for kids, that there is a group of Jews who Allah did. Guys, read the story with me and laugh. Muhammad now is showing them knowledge. He's showing the Jews knowledge. So Allah said to him, ask them about the township that was by the sea. How did it break the Sabbath? How their fish, big fish, translation is false by the way, came into them visibly upon their Sabbath day, and on the day when there is no Sabbath, the fish did not come. Thus we try them, for that they were evil people. Oh? So look at this stupid story. Allah is trying the Jews. Okay? They live in an island in the sea. They are fishermen. So Allah, he made the fish come to them every Sabbath. And the fish, they jump in the top of the water. We are here. You cannot catch us. It is Sabbath. Oh, Ultimate Fart is back. Maybe we can give him the question.
Yeah, money for nothing,
okay.
chicks for it.
I will keep you on the stage. Listen, if you want to do mockery, we cannot talk. So do you want to talk or you want to make a mockery?
Calling me, I never called you
it's
name.
You who's making fun of the Holy Spirit. You know, you want to make fun. You want to make fun of the. Listen, I'm warning you. You want to make fun. You want to make fun of the Holy Spirit and Jesus. If you make fun of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, I will spit on you and I will throw all the shit on your prophet. So listen, Let me ask you a question
I
in front
thought
of
you said
everybody.
love
Just
your
to show
neighbor.
everybody in 2 seconds. In 2 seconds that you are a big fraud. What is As-Safa and Al-Marwa?
It's 2 mounts in Mecca
No,
that you have
what
to
are
walk
they?
in
Why
between.
you go there? Why you go there?
You gotta. Allah said in the Quran that you gotta walk in between the two, Safa and Marwa. 2
Why
mounts
you go there? Why you go there?
for Hajj.
Why you go there? To As-Safa Al-Hajj, you go to the Kaaba. Why As-Safa and Al-Marwa?
No, you gotta walk between Safa and Marwa, not between Safa and the Kaaba.
Where it says walk between them.
Yes, Allah says so. Oh, you don't know the verse
Where
again?
it says
Gotta read
walk
it again.
between them.
Yes, I'll show you the verse. You want the verse?
Okay.
Don't run. Read the verse.
Okay.
Yes, I whoop the shit out of you again. You're ignorant.
It says
Yes, sir.
It says Yatuf.
Huh?
It says Yatuf.
I said I'll give you a verse.
I have a verse in front of you. I have it in the screen.
Oh, is it? I can read that. What king is it? What
Chapter 2, verse 158.
158. I can't even read it right.
Remember, it's you said to me before, Yatuf mean going around the Kaaba.
158, you said?
Uh-huh.
All right, so then you should have been seeing it. Then why are you asking me then? The nulls of Safa and Marwa are
I'm asking you, listen.
Listen.
You said you accept only the Quran. I'm asking you why you do go there.
That's because Allah wanted me to go there. What do you mean why? Because my Lord.
Why Allah wanted you to go there?
Oh, you go ask Allah. I just do what Allah wants me to do.
Are you saying to me, okay, are you saying to me the Quran is giving you order for stupid things you do not know why you are doing it?
You asked me what do you do. I said you got to walk in between them. He said, why does it say
First of all, it doesn't
it says
say,
in the same verse you're facing.
No, it doesn't say you walk
the
between
same
them.
verse you facing.
It says Yatufu. Listen, it says Yatufu bihima. It says go around them. Go around them.
Are you going to remove this recording again?
Not between them.
Did he ask me, yes or no? Did he ask me?
Now listen.
Where does it say that you're going to walk in between?
What is As-Safa?
I said that's a mount. I said that's a knoll, that's a mountain or whatever you call it. It's a mark.
How you know where it's located?
It's like you're telling me, how do you know where is Kilimanjaro? How do you know? It's known. God damn it! It's too slow, man.
How do you know where it is located? You said to me before, I don't listen to the Arab. They are dogs.
In Mecca.
They are liars.
I said in Mecca. It's in Mecca.
No. First of all, where it says Mecca?
It's not first of all. It's first of all.
Where it says Mecca.
Are you the first to be falling?
Where it says
first
Mecca.
Of all.
Where it says Mecca.
Oh, you don't. Mecca is in the. That's where we do Hajj.
Where it says Mecca, here it says it's. You said to me, this is about going to Mecca. Where it says Mecca.
I show you Hajj.
What Hajj?
The same thing you're reading.
Okay,
listen.
On. You Muslim, you do Hajj to Al-Aqsa.
No, we not Al-Aqsa, Kaaba.
How we know that this is in
not
Mecca?
Al-Aqsa, you lied again. Where it says to do Hajj in Al-Aqsa, you lied again. Did you lie? Did you lie?
Listen.
Did you lie?
Listen.
Where does it say
to do
Hajj in Al-Aqsa?
I'm asking you.
Where does it say?
I'm asking you.
You lied, right?
Where
I called you lying again in the Quran. Now you want to run like a little cow.
Where it says this? Where it says this? Where it says this in Mecca? Where it says in Mecca?
We do Hajj in Mecca, right? You want me to show you? Go to chapter 48.
You said to me, but this is only based on the hadith and based on the reference, not based on the Quran.
What do you mean hadith?
Okay. Can you show me where it says
Allah in the the nose of Safa and Marwa are among the rights between Allah. Anyone who observes Hajj.
Okay.
Hajj.
Where is Al-Hajj?
It's in the same verse you're reading.
Where?
Read the verse. Hajj is in the verse, you dummy.
Where it says Mecca.
Okay, now I'm gonna show you that Hajj is in Mecca, right?
No,
at least you know it's a Hajj, right?
You can show me, no problem. But I'm asking you now, how you know?
Okay, no, hold it.
How you know
as a verse, hold it.
how you know As-Safa and Al-Marwa is in Mecca?
That's what we call, you know, money for nothing, chicks for free. I'm whooping the shit out of you. Can I have 1 minute to speak?
Are you going to answer?
I want to answer. You want me now to show you where does it say that Hajj is in Mecca?
Hold on, no problem. You see, hold on. Guys, look how stupid he is. If Hajj is in Mecca, how you know that As-Safa Al-Marwa is in Mecca?
Because Safa and Marwa is to be done during Hajj. If you say Hajj is in Mecca and Safa and Marwa is during
Hajj, hold on.
So you know that Safa and Marwa is in Mecca. You slow ass bitch.
Wait. So now, are you saying to me, okay, hold on. So now, how you know, because you said Hajj is in Mecca, but isn't it possible that the Hajj in Mecca and As-Safa and Marwa is a different place?
No. If I say in the festival of California,
all right,
you gotta walk between this and this place.
In front of everybody,
I said, listen to me. Can I have, bro? I have 3 seconds.
Hold on.
Okay, bro, you couldn't afford to let me speak for 15 seconds.
Mecca.
I'm whooping the shit out of you. Can I have at least 25 seconds? Can I have 25 seconds, pig?
I will give you 3 minutes.
I told you I'm your bully. I'm bullying the shit out of you. I'm whooping the shit out of you. You feel like hanging out. But I'm whooping you so hard.
I will give you 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Not 3 minutes, not 2. If you can show me the verse right now where it says that As-Safa al-Marwa is in Mecca. Go ahead. Go ahead. Hello? Potato. Hello?
If I say during the festival of New York, you can walk between Brooklyn and whatever, as a city in there.
Okay.
You know, Brooklyn is in New York, you dumbass.
Where is the word New York here?
Okay, say okay, daddy. Say okay, daddy. Say it.
Listen, first of all, everybody knows that the Hajj practice was a practice in 26 Kaaba in the Arabian Peninsula. 26 Kaaba. 26 Kaaba. And I can show you now the reference from Islamic books that there is a 26 Kaaba. How we will know which one of them? How you know? Okay, what the word Safa mean? What the word Safa mean?
Safa is the name of a mountain. It's like saying what about Kilimanjaro means?
Why Allah asking you to go there to that mountain?
Go ask Allah. I just do. I don't discuss Allah's decisions. When he asks me to do something, I do it. And that's why.
You said to me before that the Quran is so clear. And
Allah want me to do something. I don't ask why. I said, I hear and I obey and I execute. You dumbass.
So you are saying to me in front of everybody, you do not know why you are going to As-Safa. Is that correct?
I know why I'm going there. I'm going there because Allah asked me to go there. You dumbass.
Why Allah ask you to go there?
Oh, that's a question you should go ask Allah. Don't ask me that question, you retarded ass.
So is that because it is the shrine of Mecca before Islam?
I said Allah wants me to go do it and I do it. I hear and I obey.
You're repeating yourself because you are afraid to
say why.
I want you to confirm, is it true it was the shrine of the pagan Arab before Islam?
Arab do what the heck they want to do. They worship. They put 300 whatever idols in the Kaaba.
Okay, now you agreed that the Arab, they used to practice the same thing going between As-Safa and Al-Marwa and even worshiping them. Why you are doing the same as the Arab if they are people?
Yeah, the same way.
Why you are doing the same?
The same way I'm seeing. The same way I'm seeing Christian worshiping in the churches with Jesus never seen a cross. You dumbass.
What?
Have Jesus Have Jesus ever have a cross with him? Worshiping a cross? Jesus? No.
First of all,
your pagans that have crosses all over the place.
Mr. Dumbass, we don't worship a cross. It's you who kiss a black stone.
It's not
first. Don't try to change the topic.
It's first of all. It's first of all.
He's trying to change the topic. Listen. He's trying to change the topic.
Yes.
Now listen carefully. So now,
I'm showing you that people idolize things.
Listen, why it says it is not sin to practice as-Safa and al-Marwa.
You're in the matrix. I can hear you.
This is a big rocket will go inside
your pig.
This is a big rocket will go inside the anus pig right now. Why it says
who's choking you? Gabriel choking you?
As-Safa and al-Marwa. Listen, you hear me? Why it says it is
You're
not
losing
sin.
Your mind.
Why it says it is not sin. Go.
Yes.
Why
it's telling you that? People used to do it. People used to do it with some intentions of worshiping idol. Now it's not that. Now you're worshiping Allah. You're not sinning. You're not worshiping idols. Know that this is a command of Allah.
How you worship Allah? So I'm asking you in front of everybody. What worshiping Allah have to do with something considered to be sin, and it is the shrine of the pagan, as you see? Why you want to do that?
Allah said even in his mosque, people are worshiping idols. They're calling upon other people as an Allah. If you call upon anybody in the mosque, Allah, you worship somebody.
The Kaaba. Okay, hold on.
Shut up.
Let us go back to zero. Let us go back to zero. Let us go back to zero.
Hold on. You're talking 99%.
So listen, the Arab.
I'm whooping you with the Holy Spirit, like said. The
first one, we can
where's the Holy Spirit?
Potato.
Christian pig, little filthy pig.
You're trying to insult me, so I kick you out. I want to kick you out. So now, as long the Arab, they practice the shrine of Quraysh, which is as-Safa and al-Marwa. Why Muhammad, he approved it if there's no need for it? Can you give me the need of it? What is this? Is this in the Kaaba? No. Is that the place where Abraham was? No. So what is this?
Can I answer you?
What is this? Fart. Why you go there? Is it true that this is where the Arab they used to worship two idols, one for a male and one for a female?
There is a things in sentences. It's a verb, a subject.
I cannot hear you. Allah is cutting your voice. Blah, 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 blah. Allah is cutting your voice. I cannot hear you.
You're talking 9
Pig, we cannot hear you.
He's gone.
Yeah, I kick you out. So guys, you see, they claim that there are people who believe only in what the Quran says. And he claimed that the Quran is so clear, can explain itself. But the second I ask him, what is a Safa mean? He do not know. Oh, it's a mountain. How you know it's in Mecca? How you know even that the Hajj is in Mecca? If you go in the Quran, you will see it says Bakka. Bakka. Not Mecca. Bakka. Where is Mecca?
Yeah, there's also a shrine, Bekka Petra, which is in Jordan, as far as I know.
I know. But you see here how stupid this is?
Yeah,
Bakka,
I know.
Bakka is where it's supposed to be, where Abraham, according to them, he built a house for God. But this cannot be in Saudi Arabia. The word
But I
Bayt,
don't understand.
the word Bayt is an Aramaic word. It's not even an Arabic word.
Yes, Ubeito, the
And
house.
this is the first house was built. Built by who? By Abraham. The Kaaba, the Muslim, they are worshipping now, according to them, the first one who built it, it was the angel who built it. And Adam, he is the first to visit it. But this is the place which is built by Abraham.
The funny thing is, let's say Abraham built it, although there's no any scientific proof. And why those people in this area become, what should I say, pagan, and do not follow the faith of Abraham?
No, as you see, this guy is following the pagan. He's still pagan. The Arab, they used to worship As-Safa and Marwa. He said to them, people, they say we should not worship it. This is the shrine of Mecca. Mohammed, he knew there's many group, big number of people. They will never leave this. So he said to them, you know what? It's not sin. It's not sin. It is the same as the shrine of Allah. But everyone knows that this is the shrine of Quraysh. And this is a pagan practice. Same time, why we need to go there anyway? Okay, if the Kaaba is the holy place, what this is about? This is what the pagan Arab used to do. So Muhammad adopted everything the pagan used to do. The black stone, the Kaaba, As-Safa, Al-Marwa, all the ritual, even throwing stones, it was the Arab used to practice before Islam. He just copied it, adopted, and this is his religion. When I ask him, how you know that this is Mecca? He says, it says there. This is in the false translation. If we type the word Mecca in the Quran, do we have any Muslim who would like to join us? Any Muslim can join us? Just to show you how stupid this religion is. How you know even that the Hajj is in Mecca? Any Muslim?
CP brother, can I ask you something if you don't mind?
Go ahead.
You showed how should I say, a tafsir or something like that about the stone and why the stone became black, because you showed us a text which says that women put their blood on the stone. Can you recognize it?
Yeah, okay. All right.
Can you show me please this source so that I can take a screenshot if you don't mind?
No problem.
Because I already talked to you. I left Islam last year, and I'm trying to convince my parents to leave them too.
All right. Give me just a few minutes. I will search for it.
Okay. Thank you, brother.
You're welcome.
Take your time.
You see, when the Muslims, they say, especially those who they claim they follow the Quran only, they are a big fat liars. The Quran is just an empty book. It is just nothing but the collection of stories. And there's no meaning of those stories. I will find you the story about the black stone.
No problem. Take your time.
All right.
The funny thing is, if you look at the Arabic text and the English text has more words than the Arabic.
All of this is addition because the Quran failed to explain itself. You know, if the author of the Quran is written by the best author in the world, why the author of the Quran cannot explain himself? Like now, while you ask this guy, hold on, he just came back.
Ultimate Fat, okay.
All right. And don't worry, I'm not going to forget about your request.
No problem, brother.
Go Ultimate Fat. Can you show me the verses about the Hajj in Mecca?
Come on. We just read the verse about Hajj.
No,
You got
we
to
did
work
not. No, we
between
did
Safa
not. No,
and
we did
Marwa
not.
during
No,
Hajj.
you said to me, if you go to New York, you know that this is New York. Can you show me where it says that you go to Hajj to do Mecca so we can go step by step?
Yes, chapter 48, verse 25, I believe.
48?
Yeah.
Okay, 48 number?
Start in verse 25 or 24.
Okay,
And following.
24, 25, all right. Read it for us.
Come on,
Read it. That is love. This is 24, and this is 25.
You see Makkah in there? I can read it, but you should see Makkah somewhere.
Okay, where it says, do Hajj to Mecca, you idiot.
You read the verse, you see it.
You say,
read the
tell
verses,
me, here we go, I'm not telling me,
25.
no, show me where it says, do Hajj to Mecca.
You read the verse, let me hear you. I can read it.
No, you read it. You are the one who chosen it. Open it in your phone and read it.
All right, I do it.
Okay.
Just 48, I said, right? 48, 20, 24, 32. CP, I know my book. You don't know your book.
Show me, stupid. Show me where it says do Hajj in Mecca.
I show you. I show you the Masjid al-Haram.
Be sure you record it. Each time you call me, be sure you record it.
Okay, now let me read now.
Okay,
let me read now.
Okay, read.
He, Allah, is the one who withheld their hands of aggression against you and withheld your hands of aggression against them in the valley of Mecca.
Where is the Hajj? Where is the Hajj?
Listen. Okay, I'm coming there. Okay. Let me keep reading.
Okay, keep reading.
After he has granted you victory on them,
keep reading.
Everything you do, just mute up.
Keep reading.
It is they, listen, it is they who disbelieved and barred you from the Masjid al-Haram.
What?
The Masjid al-Haram is in Mecca.
What? Hold on. What?
The Masjid al-Haram.
Okay, where is Mecca?
I show you Mecca in verse 24.
Okay.
And I show you the Masjid al-Haram in verse 25.
Okay.
That is in Mecca. Now I'm going to take you to chapter 2 to show you that.
Hold on.
We should.
Hold on, potato. I said to you, show me where you do Hajj into Mecca.
Okay. Now look at the reasoning. I will show you.
No, listen.
I show you that
where it says, here we go, this chapter, all the chapter in front of you. Where it says you go and do Hajj in Mecca. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Your voice is cutting. Your voice is cutting. Let me kick you out and get you back again. Put your hand up again. Your voice is cutting. We can't hear you.
Probably he stole the internet from his neighbor.
No problem. Just to show you how those people are so empty and they got zero. He says, let me show you the reasoning. What reasoning? I want to see where it says that As-Safa and Al-Marwa is in Mecca and where it says that Mecca is where you do Hajj. Put your hand up again.
Bloody hell, show the English text. Is the twice of the Arabic text.
Yeah, because they have to explain, because Quran is just a plain book, stupid book. There's no meaning if they don't add things, to the Quran in the translation. Otherwise, people will be so confused. Put your hand up again, Ultimate Fort.
Was he the guy who said that the angels created everything?
Yeah, this same person.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Ultimate Fort. Are you back? All right. So now go. Show me where it says that Hajj is in Mecca. And As-Safa and Marwa is connected to Mecca.
I have 1 minute.
Go ahead.
Can I have 1 minute?
You
1
have
minute.
I kick you out just because I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you. Go ahead. I cannot hear you. Your voice is cutting. I cannot hear you.
My reception is good. It says very good connection. I don't know.
So can you show me where it says
Can you hear
that
me?
As-Safa and Al-Marwa is
Can you hear me now?
in Mecca, and this is where it is?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you confirm that you can hear me, right?
I hear you. So go ahead.
Okay, let me now. Can I have 1 minute to answer your question? Okay. Allah says to do Hajj. And the Hajj, the Kaaba, the Masjid al-Haram is part of the Hajj.
Which verse?
And Allah said the Masjid al-Haram is
which
in
verse it says do Hajj?
2. Chapter 2. Chapter 2, verse 1.
Chapter 2.
Yes. Chapter 2, verse Hajj. Yes. We're going to start verse 194.
Okay.
It's talking about the 4 months for Hajj. And verse 196, you shall observe the Hajj and the Umrah. Okay? If you are prevented, you shall send the offering and do not resume on cutting your hair until...
You stupid idiot.
I am reading.
The verse
let me read.
The verse you gave
let me
me
read.
Is the
you don't
verse
want me to get to the Masjid al-Haram. People know what you're doing.
You see, you stupid.
You don't want me to get to the Masjid al-Haram. That's what you're doing, CP. You know I am getting to the Masjid al-Haram, and I'm going to whoop you with that. You don't want me to get to the...
Listen.
I'm reading a verse. I got my minute.
We did read this verse.
Remember?
There's no Mecca
That's
here.
my minute.
There's no Mecca. There's no Mecca.
There is a Masjid al-Haram.
There's no Mecca.
I already quoted you.
Okay, hold on. Listen. Abdul, what's wrong with you? Where is the Masjid al-Haram?
Abdul is whooping the shit out of you. That's what Abdul is doing.
Where is the Masjid al-Haram?
You can't stand still. You wouldn't let me read the verse.
Where is the Masjid al-Haram in chapter 2, verse 158?
Okay. No, I said 196. Listen to me.
Oh, you said 196?
That's what I said. That's what I was reading, you dumbass.
Okay, so guys, he said 196. Let's go there. Okay, read.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was reading when you cut me off.
All right. Okay.
You shall observe the Hajj and Umrah. If you are prevented, you shall send the offering and do not resume cutting your hair until the offering has reached its destination. If you are ill or suffering of a head injury, you shall expiate by...
Where it says Mecca in 196.
I am getting to the Masjid al-Haram, brother.
No. Hold on. Where it says Mecca, al-Masjid al-Haram, not necessarily Mecca. How you know?
I showed you in chapter 48, verse 24 and 25. Masjid al-Haram is in Mecca.
Masjid al-Haram, what word haram mean?
Is in Mecca. I showed you in chapter 48.
What the word haram mean?
I said, no. We're not going there.
What the word haram mean?
Haram means prohibited. Prohibition.
Okay, hold on. If there is any other area is forbidden for Muslim too? Consider forbidden?
Forbidden for the kafirs and forbidden to fight. Forbidden. That's a mosque where you cannot fight people.
This is not about kafir and fight. Hold on. This is a different story.
Yes.
Al-Masjid al-Haram.
Forbidden to the kafirs.
Hold on.
Forbidden to the filthy ones.
Hold on. Listen.
The filthy people like Christian people cannot come around the Kaaba.
If there is any place,
the mushriks are najis, they can be there.
Yeah, you are najis like your mother. You are najis, I agree.
Yeah.
So now, listen.
You're najis, so you cannot be there.
You keep going around, you keep saying, let us say Masjid al-Haram. So now, where it says that As-Safa and Al-Marwa is in Mecca?
I showed you that Mecca is where we should be doing the Hajj.
Okay.
So Safa and Marwa is part of the Hajj. Safa and Marwa is in Mecca.
How we know
so
that
dumb.
As-Safa
We
and
have fixed
Al-Marwa?
that.
Listen, is it possible that As-Safa and Al-Marwa is in Jerusalem? Because your prophet, he said, the second shrine of Allah is in Jerusalem.
Okay, can I answer you now? Can I have like 40 seconds?
Where is the
Not even 25
is it true that
Can I
the
have
second
25
shrine
seconds to answer?
the second shrine
Can
of
I have
Islam
25 seconds to answer,
is
you
it true
CP?
that the second shrine
You
of Allah is in
cannot
the
afford to let me speak for 25
I'm giving you
seconds.
time more. You are
I'm
giving
humiliating
me
you
no
in front of
answer.
your
You are giving me no answer.
1,200 people
Listen.
watching YouTube.
So listen,
Do you know how many
losing
people are
my
watching
patience with
YouTube?
you.
1,200.
Guys, be my witness.
How
This
many
guy, he have
how
no
many
answer.
how many on Discord?
Son of Muta, I'm losing my patience with you. There's nowhere here it says what is a Safa al Marwa, and nowhere the word Mecca is even mentioned. This is only in the trust translation. And al Masjid al Haram, it can be anywhere. And even what does have to do with the Safa al Marwa? Our topic is how you know that a Safa al Marwa is the place where you have to go, which is close to Mecca. How you know it? The only way you know it, if you read books have nothing to do with the Quran, or you ask the Arab there. But all of us, we knew that Arab, the names can change. As an example, there's a city in Yemen, it's called Eden. And there's a garden in the Bible, and even in the Quran, it's called Eden. Is it the same place? No. Eden here, Eden there, Eden there. Eden in the Quran is in heaven. Eden in the Bible is in south of Turkey. Eden in Yemen is different place. All of them, their name is Eden. How we know which one we're talking about? The Quran is a stupid, empty book. Same time, the Quran failed to tell you why you need to practice it. You say it because the Quran says so. Okay, what you will do there? What are you doing there? Why are you even there? Two mountains, okay, why I need to go between them? What's happening there? What the connection between the two mountains and Allah? Big failure. So he could not show us any proof. Like as an example, just to show you how stupid they are. I wish really I can talk to him, but this guy, he speaks so loud and he will not let you talk. And when I talk, he says, he starts insulting. Everything in the Quran is a joke. If I ask him, chapter of Al-Isra, this is about who? What he will say? He will say this about Muhammad. Where it says Muhammad?
They copy it from Exodus. It's about Moses and
where
his,
it says Muhammad? Nowhere
people.
it says Muhammad. Nowhere.
Only in the brackets.
Hey, Zakir, Naik, come to the stage. Let everybody laugh at you. And I will give you 10 hours to search to find how you know that this is about Muhammad. Who is the guy? You see, he keeps saying to me, Al-Masjid al-Haram. Al-Masjid al-Haram. How we know that the Masjid al-Haram is really, this is in Mecca? This is about Moses. The Forbidden Land is where Moses, he met with God. This is the Masjid al-Haram. As Kab, he said, Kab, this is from which book? Are you there? When Moses, he met with God, he spoke to him. God said to Moses, tell the priest and tell your people, nobody is allowed to pass this line. It's a forbidden land. Sacred land. Otherwise they will be perished. This is about Moses. Look what they did in the translation. They put Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. They put all those things. Where it says Muhammad.
So many words in brackets.
Yeah. If we allow him to talk, he will give you all kind of excuses, but he will never give you an answer for anything. Nowhere it says Muhammad. Where is Muhammad?
The Arabic text.
Where we can
doesn't
find
mention
Muhammad in the
what-
story? There's no Muhammad. But they say this is about
No.
Muhammad. They say that Allah took him to heaven. Where is the word heaven? Just to give you an example.
Oh, you know.
Ultimate part. Ultimate part.
You be running.
The word Masjid Haram. Masjid Haram. Is that about is that about Mecca here in chapter 17, verse 1?
There's one Masjid al-Haram, and no 3, and no 5, and no 1 million Masjid.
So why it says, who is the one here in chapter 17?
How many Masjid al-Haram you know of? How many Masjid al-Haram you know?
I know many, and I will show
you.
You
agree with me that there is one Masjid al-Haram?
No, I don't.
So then, if I said al-Masjid.
So I'm asking you now in the front of
Arabic.
everybody.
No. In Arabic, if I say al-Masjid,
al-Masjid
can it be more than one?
This is speaking about.
If I said al-Masjid, can it be more than one?
This is for the Jews. This is for the Jews.
If I say al-Masjid al-Haram, can it be more than one?
Yes, this is the sacred place. This is the sacred place for the Jews.
I said, yes, the other one is not called the Masjid al-Haram. It's called Masjid al-Aqsa.
Is this verse about Muhammad? Is this verse about Muhammad? Is it about Muhammad?
The mosque of.
Is it about? Is it about Muhammad? Is it about Muhammad?
The yellow mosque.
Say yes.
Can it be there? Can it be more than one yellow mosque?
Yes. Here we go. That's why I don't like to talk to him. Is it? Is this verse about Muhammad?
What? Which verse?
Chapter 17, verse number 1. Al-Masjid al-Haram.
Chapter 17, verse 1. Yeah. Yes, he be taken from Masjid al-Haram.
Okay, guys, he said this about Muhammad. Can you show me how this about Muhammad? How you know?
Because every time Allah talk about Muhammad as you, that's Muhammad. He's the only person that Allah is speaking to as you.
Where it says, where's what you? What do you mean you?
Allah, Muhammad, Islam was the one sent by Allah.
Really?
And Allah is speaking about him or to him.
How you know that this is about Muhammad? Did Muhammad go to heaven? Before you said to me, Muhammad, he went to heaven, correct?
I never said that. I said Muhammad was taken from the Masjid al-Haram to the Masjid al-Aqsa.
Where we can find that Muhammad is the one has been taken from the Masjid al-Haram to the Aqsa.
Because Muhammad is the messenger of the Quran.
Well, Musa's is the one who mentioned here. This is about Musa's.
I said no, Musa is way after.
Musa's came after? Musa's came after.
Come after the verse.
After the verse. But where is the name Muhammad here? How you know this is Muhammad? If this verse is mentioning Moses and the children of Israel, if this verse, that the chapter, the whole chapter, where is Muhammad? Where is Muhammad?
If Musa had to be traveling, Musa had to be traveling.
Where is Muhammad in the chapter? Where is Muhammad in the whole chapter?
Let me answer you now. Can I answer you?
If there is the word Muhammad mentioned in the whole chapter, yes or no?
Okay, let me answer you.
Say yes or no. Say yes or no.
I said, you said, how do you know it's Muhammad?
No,
let me
I'm
answer
asking you first, one by one.
You're asking me, how do you know it's Muhammad? It's recorded, people heard it. How do you know this is Muhammad? And I'm about to answer you. And you ran like a little coward. Are you a freaking coward, bro? You ask me a question, how do you know it's Muhammad? Let me answer you.
Is it in the verse? Is it in the Quran here in the chapter?
Yes, I will show you.
Okay, show me in chapter 17 show me in chapter 17 the word Muhammad. Go ahead.
Verse 1. Yes, I said that Muhammad. Where? Because if I say you're traveling from Masjid al-Haram, Moses would have been from Masjid al-Aqsa to Masjid al-Haram. Moses did not live in Masjid al-Haram. So you're talking about somebody who lived in Masjid al-Haram. From Masjid al-Haram to Masjid al-Aqsa, you have to live in Masjid al-Haram to go to Masjid al-Aqsa not from the Masjid al-Aqsa to Masjid al-Haram. You dumbass. That's slow.
Are you done?
I whoop the shit out of you.
Are you done, Mr. Shit?
Donald Trump, I mean, Joe Biden can only travel from
what you are doing, you see,
Joe Biden is not going to travel from Africa to America because he's going to live in America.
You are a hypocrite.
The president now, the Senegalese president will travel.
You will not let me talk. You will not let me talk. Pretty coward. You see where is the word Muhammad? He said, it says he took him at night from the Masjid al-Haram. So it must be Muhammad. How we know? In fact, no. The forbidden land is the land where God says to Moses, if I type the word here, listen, I'm going to take exactly the same sentence. Listen carefully, just to show you that this is about Moses. Proving that from the Quran. And this Senegalese boy will become the joke of everybody, and everybody will laugh at him. Look with me. Chapter 17 and chapter 44, verse 23. Exactly the same sentence. فَأَسْرِ بِعِبَادِ لَيْلَةً أَسْرَ بِعَبْدِهِ لَيْلَةً. Allah command Moses to take his people at night to where? In the direction of the Holy Land. We go back to the verse. You take them from the Masjid al-Haram to where? To the Holy Land. Which where? Jerusalem. That was the purpose of the trip of Moses. At night. It says here, at night. Secondly, the verse after it, you will see the name here mentioned, Moses.
Musa, yes.
This is about Moses. The name of Muhammad is not exist in the whole chapter. Never mentioned. So if this guy, he said, he accept only the Quran. He said because it says Masjid al-Haram. But we know that the Masjid al-Haram is even mentioned in the Quran about Moses again. Anyone knows where? When Moses, he come to the bushes. Allah told him, take off your shoes, for this is a forbidden land.
That's from the Old Testament.
Exactly. Do you see now? So where is the forbidden land? Haram. Haram mean what? It's forbidden for you to do anything wrong in it. It's holy.
Brother, I have also a problem with Surah Al-Isra, Ayah 1. They say it's about the Hijrah. But let's say, okay, it is the Hijrah, but the Masjid Al-Aqsa came after the death of Muhammad or not? How is it
all
possible?
of this is a lie, for sure. This is this is about Moses, because Moses, he is going to where? To their temple, the promised land, and the Aqsa is the temple of the Jews, which the Muslims occupied, and they changed the name, they call it Aqsa. So this is the trip of Moses. This is why it does not mention heaven. The Muslim in their story, they say heaven, he took him to heaven, he saw Moses, he saw Adam, all these stories. We don't find it in the Quran. Nowhere in the Quran it says that. And this guy, his tactic is, the second I try to show him something, he will not let me talk. So he will look like
That's always what they do.
Yeah,
that's always what they do.
But I invite him just for fun, we have entertainment.
Yes. Yeah.
Just to show the people their hypocrisy. So if we go to his messenger, Rashad Khalifa.
He's more funny.
Let me see the translation of Rashad Khalifa.
Didn't they call him kafir because he changed the Quran?
Yeah, he, for sure, all of them, they changed the Quran anyway. They are hypocrite too. But because he mentioned, he took verses from the Quran, and he announced himself to be a messenger. Look what Rashad Khalifa is doing too. He is again a fabricator. They say that we should not add words, is not on the Quran. But look what he did. He added the word Mecca.
Let me take a screenshot.
He added the word Muhammad. He added the word Mecca. And here actually, the translation here, by the way, is correct. It says the farthest place How even the Muslim, they knew that this is in Jerusalem? How we knew where is this guy, this person is? Is that a name? Because in Arabic, Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa is not a name. Not for a location, not name for a city. It just says farther place. That's it. It doesn't even say what he is saying of prostration. So the whole story is a hocus. And look what he said. Similarly, we gave Moses where it says similarly. What similarly? And into Moses we gave, there's no similarly. So he's adding verses into the Quran, adding words is not there. When you corner them, the only way to do, the whole idea here, by the way, the reason we invite him just to show you that when they say they go by the Quran only, they are big fat liars, or the Quran is an empty book, and the story is obvious. This is about Moses. Muhammad is copying the story about Moses. God says to Moses, don't pass this point. Don't pass this point, for this is a holy ground. And this is a story even mentioned in the Quran.
Their translations are more corrupted than the liberals, to be honest.
Yeah. I wish I can invite him and he talk normally, but this guy is a scumbag. You know, I mean, I cannot even, I hate his voice. I'm trying to help him actually, but he will not let you talk. I want all the Muslims who are listening. I have a challenge for all of you together. If you can show me one proof that chapter 17, verse number 1 is about Muhammad, you are my hero. The holy ground is where Moses, he spoke to God. Is that correct?
Speak.
Ultimate fart?
Take me in the magic of the moment, in the glow.
I will never let you end that stage again. That's it. You lost your mind. All right.
God bless him. God bless him.
All right. Let us, another person is coming, and I will look for you. Like, this guy disturb us.
Thank you.
Yeah, I will look for you for...
How do you find my name, CP? I changed my name.
You change your name, Kab Ibn al-Ashraf. That's horrible. All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. سويت هدم الحيض. All right. I posted actually this link before. If anybody have it, post it please instead of me looking for it. You know, I don't save reference, because if I want to save everything I know, I'm going to the bookmark is going to be bigger, harder than searching there than searching in the internet. But if anyone have the page posted, otherwise I have to find it. Let's see.
They sent me some hadiths, but it is not what I mentioned to you.
No. We want the one about the period.
Yes, yes. And how the men put their dingy on the star.
Yeah. Let us see. Where? All right, look like we found something. All right, this is a Muslim website, and this is explanation about the black stone in all Islamic books in one page. But the good thing about this website, you will find that the story in the first line, the book of Al-Kashaf,
Al-Kashaf, okay.
volume number 1, chapter 127. Here it says, وجاءه جبريل بالحجر الأسود من السماء وقيل تمخض أبو قبيس فانشق عنه وقد خبئ فيه أيام الطوفان وكان ياقوت بيضاء من الجنة فلما لمسته الحيض في الجاهلية اسود. See it?
With this word Jahiliyyah, I got the, let's say, the topic.
Yeah. So this is the link. Let me give it to you.
Al-Kahf, Part 1, Chapter
Okay, let me take a
127,
screenshot,
Gabriel
please.
brought him the black stone from the sky. It was said, Abu Qubays labored and broke away from it. It was hidden in a dirt.
So here it says, but when the menstruation touched it in the pre-Islamic time, it turned black. All right?
Yes, that's what I wanted. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Guys,
This
save
book
it. Save it. So
also
next time we
authentic,
look for those things, you guys, you help me. I don't save them in my bookmark because I said if I want to save everything I know in my bookmark, it's going to be endless. So
brother, the book, sorry that I interrupted you. The book Al-Kashaf, it is authentic, right?
well, there's nothing is authentic in Islam, as you see. If there's anything authentic, the Quran is not authentic. But
Nothing
anyway,
is authentic.
yeah, according to
It's
them,
not,
yeah, it is, yeah. But I
okay.
mean, all their stories is just, look, all this page is about the black stone. All the page here is about the black stone. So the page here show you collection of all tafsir, all Muslim books. That's why it's so long. Or
Yeah.
let's say the most important ones. So, but you're lucky that the first thing from the beginning in the top, it says, the book of Al-Kashaf, فَلَمَّا لَمَسَتْهُ الْحَيْض become black. It was white.
Mhm.
And this is again showing us the racism of Muhammad and the racism of the Arab, the white Arab. They believe that black make you sin. Sorry, sin make you black. So what made the black stone black? And even this is in different hadith mentioned that the black stone was whiter than milk. And then the sin of mankind. Here is the same. Why they are saying this? The period. The Arab believe that a woman, she is not able to have babies. She did something wrong. So God is punishing her. Baal. So what she do? She touch her private part. And she go to the Kaaba naked, totally naked, and she go and walk around the Kaaba, and she say certain songs in Arabic, and then when she touched the black stone with her vagina full of blood, but with her hand, she asked Allah to make her have fertility. And I just found the book we are looking for, Al-Kashaf. I will give it to you. That is even better than the link I just gave you.
Wait, let me see. Okay.
If you guys can post please in Rumble and in YouTube. You see, I highlighted for you.
Thank you.
In the page. Yeah.
So many information. Why they don't translate it in English at least? Only in
That's why
Arabic.
actually they will never translate this. Trust me, they will never translate. They will never translate. And this is the original book. This is not a website only. This is the book of Az-Zamakhshari, Al-Kashaf, Tafsir al-Quran. And here explain to you about the black stone. There's many stories here, by the way. Like, like this guy, he mentioned that the Masjid al-Haram, when we say Masjid al-Haram, for sure we mean Mecca. That is absolutely false, because we know that there is a forbidden land, and even Allah, He forbid the Jews from entering the land, which is Jerusalem. Correct? For 40 years.
Yes.
So that is a forbidden temple too. He forbid them from entering into their land, including their temple, for 40 years. That again is a forbidden land. But here, this one, proving to us that from their Muslim website, from their Muslim books, that the Arab, they practice paganism, sexuality. This is why the hadith says that the Arab used to go totally naked around the Kaaba. Then the question you need to ask yourself, what was the practice and what was the religion of the Arab they were practicing at that time, require them to go totally naked? And by the way, until now nothing changed. Muslim, they go naked around the Kaaba. The sheet they are wearing, this is exactly what the men they used to do. There's clothes they rent. The Kaaba is a Hajj, and the Hajj is a business. And there's 26 Kaaba. All of them, they practice the same thing. They go naked. There's a people, they rent them clothing after they get out. It's a big business.
They make billions of dollars every year. It's crazy.
This is authentic hadith. This is Sahih Muslim. We are not making things up. Everything we say here is proven in front of you. The Arab, we used to go naked. Do you see it? This is the Hajj. This is the Hajj of this guy from Senegal, the pagan guy. Quraysh and their descendant, they used to go around the Kaaba. You see, they go round. This is what Muslims do today. Around what? The house. What house? The Kaaba. What? Naked. Totally naked. In the state of nudity. Except during one time only. They call it Homs. And then...
What is Homs?
It's another ritual, you know, for the pagan. The Muslim until now they practice it too. The same. It's like you know, another format of ritual. So,
okay.
And there is a person, there is people who they supply them with the clothing, but you have to pay for it, not for free. It's a business. The male provided the clothes to the male, and the female provided clothes to the female. So, in the square of the Kaaba, when they finish their practice, the Hajj, there's females, they give female clothing to the female, and there's males, they are giving male clothing to the male. But male and female, they are practicing the Hajj exactly like today, not separated. If you ask the Muslim today, why in the mosque women cannot be mixed with the men, but in the Kaaba, women, they go and the men are naked. He is not even allowed to wear an underwear. And it's a very busy place, so a woman, she will be in front of you and your private part will be touching her butt. In fact, every day, the youth of Mecca, they go to the Kaaba. For this is the best place to touch women and to molest them. It's very crowded, very busy, and anyone is a horny dog. All what you need to do, if you go right now and search for sexual harassment in Mecca on YouTube, you will find endless number of videos. In fact, the Muslims, they made videos. It's called Me Too. Me Too. What they mean? It's what happened to them in Mecca. Let me see.
It's just stupid and poor nonsense.
كلنا عم ندور كيف نقدر.
Hold on. There is tons of videos about sexual harassment happened in Mecca, and all of them from Muslim women Either now they became ex-Muslims or they are still under Islam.
It's not that easy if you live in a Muslim country. Thank God I live in Western country, so that I don't have so much problems.
You see how busy the area around the Kaaba? Every scumbag dog will be touching the women in front of him, harassing, raping, etc. You know, you name it. Me too. Look at those here. Look at this video. What happened to this woman between the men? Everybody is grabbing her. Look.
I mean, it's obvious.
Those women, they want to touch the black stone, brother. Look, they are fighting for the black stone. And the guys are holding the women. Look, this desperate woman, she want to touch the black stone. Please let me touch it, please. You know? How we say it's haram for the women to be inside the mosque with the men, it have to be separated. She can't even leave. Anyway, the garbage of Islam, nothing new.
Yeah.
All this Hajj ritual is a pagan ritual, exists before Islam. They go naked, they have sex, they drink, they make poetry, and they give a donation to the idols, and then everybody go home. It is something they do. Even the word Hajj is a practice before Islam. Even the word Hajj is made by the pagan Arab. Even the names of the month is involved with the shrines of Quraysh. So when we asked this guy, what is As-Safa al-Marwa, he failed to answer because simply he did not know. The only way to know is to go and read the books of Hadith. When I said to him, where it says do Hajj to Mecca, he said Masjid al-Haram. But there's many forbidden land. According to the Quran, Musa's land is a forbidden land. Where Musa's met God is a forbidden land. It's more than forbidden. It's a holy ground. Allah never stepped in Mecca. All right. Do we have any Muhammadan?
And then I go CP. Thank you for accepting me. Have a nice day. God bless you, brother.
You're welcome, my friend. Good for you. You left Islam. Happy for you. Sexual assault in Islam is a daily practice. It's normal. It's not even forbidden. It's not even forbidden. There's a story about a woman, she been raped during the Caliphate Umar. The woman, she was in the desert and she's dying from hunger. No water, no food. A Muslim man, a decent Muslim man coming by. She was so happy to see him. Please give me some water. He said, I will give you if you let me sleep with you. I will give you water and food if you let me sleep with you. She said, shame on you, this is not right. He said, this is my condition, or you die. So she allowed him to sleep with her. When she went to the town, she went to the Caliphate Umar and she told him about what this guy did. What Umar he said? He said, Mahr, 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 which mean dowry, dowry, dowry. He paid you your dowry. This is not rape. That is Islam. He did not even question the man. How dare you to do that? Why you don't give her food? The woman is dying. Well, you want to live? you sleep with me. All the Quran is a book of stupidity, and the Quran will become more stupid if the Muslim don't accept the Islamic books to support the Quran. For the Quran is like a chair without legs, without those books. You will find nothing in the Quran makes sense. And this is why this guy, you know, he was so unhappy with the question. When I said, why you go to As-Safa al-Marwa? He said, ask Allah. You are the one should ask Allah. I don't go there. What kind of God he didn't tell you why you want to do it? Isn't it the Quran says Allah, he explained his religion? Where is the explanation? Where Allah, he says he sent Muhammad during night in the Quran? In chapter 17. He said the forbidden ground. Well, this is where Moses, he bowed down to God. And this is about Moses. And the name mentioned here is Moses. The verse telling us what happened to Moses. And look how stupid the story is. Glorified to be the one who took his slave. Who is the one? How we know that even this is Allah? You see, all of those is addition. Allah, where? Above all, where is above all? Where is the word above all? Where is the word evil? Where is the word associate with him? Look, it says Tafsir al-Qurtubi. Like what? So all of this is not in the Quran. It doesn't say Allah. It doesn't say God. It doesn't say anything. It says, praise to the one who took his servant during night time from the forbidden ground to the farther point forbidden, or a ground of worship. But is Jerusalem even that far? How Jerusalem is the farther point? That is the most stupid statement ever. How we know even what is this ground? Especially at that time there was no Aqsa. The one they call it now Aqsa. There's none of that. That Aqsa was built long after. The Caliphate, they stole all the stones from Lebanon. They destroy a very beautiful temple built by the Roman in Baalbek in Lebanon. They took the wood, they took the rocks, and they brought it all the way to Jerusalem. Yes, T. You are back.
Question, Prince. Yeah. Can you ask next time that Quran holding guy, what is his ultimate part, that he can explain Surah of 111.
I understand.
There is Abu Lahab.
Which chapter?
Yeah, they cannot.
Abu Lahab.
Yeah, they cannot explain this Surah.
Yeah, well, those are silly. Anyway, you know, I'm not going to allow you actually to speak here no more because he shout a lot. He's dirty. He's filthy. He's, you know, he's just annoying. Yeah, we will not allow him no more. Dunkler, Wolf. Hello? Are you from Senegal too? Your internet not working? Wolf, are you there? All right, take care. And you know, we are just showing some contradictions, but at the end of the day, all of this is not really important, because there's way more important details in the Quran proving to us that the Quran is just made by an idiot. Like how the baby is made, how, I mean, those are very simple. The sperm became a blood, dead blood, and the blood became a piece of meat. That's false. The author of the Quran do not remember which one he created first, the mountains or the stars. When a book made by God, remember the Muslims believe that every word here we see is Allah talking. This is not Muhammad. This is not the angels. This is none of those. It's just God. But then when we go and check it out, this is stupid. Like, as an example, when the Quran says, like when I gave him this verse here, it's not sin to practice as-Safa al-Marwa. Shouldn't we know what are you talking about? Why people think it is sin? Because simply this is pagan practice. But why it's not sin? And why we should practice it? Shouldn't Allah tell us why it's not sin? So, you know, if you go in the Bible, you will see a clear explanation of almost everything you can imagine. Why this is wrong, why this is not accepted, why this is approved, why this is disapproved, with details. Here there's nothing. In the top of that, the Quran is full of garbage errors. History, as an example. You know, when the Quran speaks about Mary, the sister of Aaron, and a Jewish guy, he came to Muhammad. Remember, Muhammad is a Quran only. So a Jewish guy, he came to the house of Muhammad. He told Aisha, listen, tell Prophet of Allah that Maryam, the sister of Aaron, according to the hadith, there's hundreds of years between them, between her and Jesus. Aisha, she said to him, you are a liar, which means this is really what Muhammad meant. Now Muhammad came home. The woman, she told her husband, listen, this guy, the rabbi of the Jews, he was here and he says, well, this is wrong. Maryam is the sister of Aaron, yes, but this is not the same woman, the mother of Jesus. So now Muhammad, he decided to fix it. So he said to them, okay, well, at that time, they used to call them by their great prophet or great ancestors. Well, this is false, because Maryam, we know that in the Old Testament, the Bible mentioned that Maryam, she prophesies. So she is considered as a prophet. Same time, if you want to call Maryam by the great ancestor, she is the sister for real. What ancestor? If he's talking about Mary, well, Mary is not from the same tribe. If we want to talk about the great prophet, Aaron is not the great prophet. He's not. Isn't it the Muslim, they believe that Moses is the greatest in his time? Muhammad, he made poo-poo. So now he tried to fix it. And I wish this rabbi did not come to Muhammad and say that to him. However, there's a mistake. Muhammad, he could not fix no more. Why? Because this is Quran now. Muhammad, he made the father of Aaron and the father of Moses the father of Mary. And here, Muhammad, he cannot fix the poo-poo. It's too late. Because now he told them that Umran is the father of Mary, and he told them his story. But Umran is the father of Aaron and Moses. See, he made a chapter in the name of the father of supposedly Mary. If we type the word Umran, look what the stupid Muhammad he said. Chapter 3, verse number 35. And remember when the wife of Umran, she said, My Lord, I have vowed into thee that which in my belly. Okay. Who is this woman? The wife of Umran. Who is Umran? The father of Moses. Muhammad talking about who? Talking about Mary, the mother of Jesus. She gave birth to Mary, the wife of Umran. She gave birth to Mary. So now Mary officially is the daughter of Umran and the sister of Aaron. That is exactly the word used in the Bible, Maryam. You see, Maryam. And now Muhammad, he cannot fix it. He cannot take it back. And then Maryam, she was like taken by Zechariah, who is a high priest. But the Quran doesn't tell us who is this guy, Zechariah. Doesn't tell us too much details. It says he is the father of John the Baptist. Then here you will find something very funny about the story of Maryam in the Quran. According to the chapter 3, verse number 35, it says that Mary, she was a nun. She was what? She was a nun. How we know that? It says, I have vowed into thee that which is in my belly to be serving you. Do you see it? And to confirm that, now Mary, she lived in the temple, which is forbidden for women, by the way, to do. The Jews will never allow that to happen. It says here, when she gave birth to her, she did live in the temple, and Zechariah, he was the guardian for her. So now she is devout. Mary, she is devout to God, and she lived inside the most holy place in the temple, Al-Mihrab. And she seen nobody. And nobody see her, except Zechariah only. And each time Zechariah, he come to see her, he find in her room a lot of food. He asked Mary where this is coming from. She says, Allah. He gave it to me. Do you see it? So now Mary suddenly in the Quran is a nun. But the stupid Quran itself says that being a nun and a monk is a fabrication. Allah never asked for it. How it is a fabrication, an invention made by the false Christians, and Mary in the Quran is a nun, which means she is a monk, but the female one. Do you see how stupid Muhammad is? And not only that, the donkey Muhammad, he made bigger poo-poo. Why? Read with me. In the Quran, Muhammad, he said being a monk is a great thing. Like, what the heck? The most close people to you Muslims is those who they are Christians. Why? Because between them there's monks. Like, hold on. You just said that the monks are fabricating things. That means they are bad. And now you are saying that the best of the Christians are the priests and the monks. So is being a monk is a fabrication against God, or it is from God? Are you with me, guys? You see how stupid this religion is? Because if being a monk is an invention, it's not from God, that means it's satanic. Any invention is a satanic. God did not command you. So how you can be the monk and the good person, and this is an invention? And then we find that Mary herself, before even she was born, she was a nun. Her mother, she devoured the child without knowing if it's going to be a girl or a boy. When the mother of Mary, she devoured her child into God, she didn't know at that point if it was a boy or a girl. So if it was a boy, it's going to be a monk. It is a female? Okay, well, it's going to be a nun. So how it's a fabrication, and it is Allah who accepted the vow of the mother of Mary, and he accepted Mary to the point he supplied her with all her needs of food. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? If it is wrong, do you think Allah, which is the devil here, he will accept to provide and to accept the vow? And now this woman, she go inside her place, inside the temple, she see nobody, she talk to nobody, she meet nobody except one person. He is a high priest, his name is Zechariah, a wonderful man. And Allah, every day he send her food. Why? Why Allah is sending Mary everyday food? Joseph, how I can help you? Hello? It must be Senegal internet. Hello? I didn't hear you. What?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, shalom, CP.
I didn't hear you. What?
CP, I want to know. Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, I hear you now. Go ahead.
Yes, CP, I want to know that why the names in the Quran, like the books that are written in the Quran, are named after animals.
I don't
Like you
understand.
have the animals, like Surah of the and
All right, I think I understand what you're saying, but your voice was cutting badly. He is saying why the chapters have names. As you see, there is a story in the chapter, like now Amran, the father of Moses, suddenly he became the father of Mary. So they called the chapter Amran. The chapter of the cow, because Allah, he said to Moses, beat the cow, beat the dead guy with the dead cow by the beef, and that will be resurrecting the man. So they call it the cow. All right? So all those things are just names given based on the story supposedly mentioned in the Quran. Do we have any Muhammadan? And you will notice, guys, there is something really here, how stupid Muhammad is. How he is the greatest of mankind, as he claimed. But then suddenly, according to the stupid Muhammad, all the good people in the world is the sons of, or the daughters of Amran. Do you know this? The Quran says that Allah, He chosen certain people from the whole world. Who are those people? Chapter 3, verse number 33 says, Allah, He prefer Adam. Here you see how stupid it is to say prefer Adam, because Adam is the first man. How you prefer him anyway? But we will let it go. Like there's other choices. And Noah, and the family of Abraham, and the family of Amran. But Islam says that Islam is not a religion believe in supremacist. Like they say the Jews, they believe they are supreme. They say they are the chosen people. But this is what the Quran is saying. Allah, He favors certain family from all mankind. And right away, we speak about who? The family of Amran is from above all the creatures. Who is the family of Amran according to the Quran? Is Mary, Jesus, Zechariah, and Zechariah too. He mentioned Zechariah in the additional. But Jesus and Mary are direct descent from Amran. As you see the story here. Do we have any ustaz from Indonesia? Anyone? Walk on.
Hello, brother. I have the sources. If the guy he asked about the hadith, I have it here. So
what
if
hadith?
he can see me now, he can search me as a friend. I will give him the hadith.
What
It
hadith?
says the woman used to use their hair to put it on the stone.
We show we gave it to him. We gave it to him already. We gave the reference.
Oh, okay. It's actually Ibn Abbas who narrated it.
Yeah, if you have other link, you post it in the chat.
He can find it on the book on Ahmed ibn Hanbal, and he can find it actually.
Post the link. Post the link. This is better, so he can save it.
I cannot post the link because I'm sitting from my laptop. I can take a picture, but is the book on Ahmed ibn Hanbal? I don't know which page is it, so I have to read the whole book. You understand? I have already the book.
All right, no problem.
Okay, it's narrated in Ahmed ibn Hanbal, and also is narrated on. Let me give you the other guy. You know, it will be easier to just let him send me a message. I will give him all the sources I have.
No problem. Already I gave him the book of Al-Kashaf.
Okay, it's yeah. He can download it for free. It's only like I think it's only 200 megabytes.
No, I don't advise anyone to take files from people. You know, you never know. Yeah, don't send files. If you can find the link, this is the easiest way. You can post it, people you open it, and that's it.
Okay, bro.
Yeah, files, no, it's not good. All right, thank you.
No, but I have downloaded now, so I can send him the.
No, I mean you can find the same reference in the internet without downloading. You can find exactly the same word in Google. Type them. You'll find the same exact word as a link. Post it in the chat.
It's gonna be problem for him if it's English because you know how.
No, he speak Arabic. He speak Arabic.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, he's
no
an Arab.
problem.
He's an Arab.
Yeah. God bless you.
Right. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, Joseph. Are you there, Joseph?
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, shalom, sister. Sorry, it got disconnected. Here, my last question, CP. Hello?
I understand you said why the chapters they have
Hello?
names. Why the chapters they have names.
Yes, CP.
I explained to you. Every chapter have a story.
Yeah, animal's name.
You are a Muslim?
Uh-huh.
You are a Muslim?
No, Christian.
Okay. Every story have a...
No, I'm Christian.
Every chapter have a story.
Yeah.
And from that story, they choose the most, let us say, unique of it, like here, the story of Ali Imran. So they name the chapter Ali Imran, which means the family of Imran. Yeah. All of this, I don't think Muhammad even he said to them to name it this way, but this is something they have to give it a name so they can recognize which one we're talking about. So those names are always added later to the Quran. Same as verses, numbers, those things never exist. Muhammad never gave verse, etc. Muhammad, he say a few words, they write it down.
And one more question, CP, that the okay.
All right.
Okay, one more question, CP, that was there any chapter named Surah of the Camels, CP? Surah of the Camel.
There is many
chapter of Camel.
There is many chapters in the Quran. They used to have different names, and today they have other names. So there is many names are not used now in the most popular Quran. Yeah. As an example, the chapter of At-Tawbah was not called At-Tawbah. They have different name for it. However, there is those names are depend on the one who is writing the book, or let us say printing the book or publishing. He changed the names as he wish. Yeah.
Okay.
Like as an example, when you mention the camel,
And one last question.
So what they will do, the chapter mentioned the word camel, as a chapter 7, verse number 40. They will say, okay, this is the chapter of the camel because this is the chapter speak about the camel. But now they call it Al-A'raf.
Hello, can you hear me, CP?
Yeah, your voice is cutting badly, so I have difficulty to hear you.
Yes, now you can hear me, CP.
I hear you. Go ahead.
Yes. CP, one last question. I have seen one of the video of Hatun Tash. You know Hatun Tash?
Yeah.
Yeah. She said that there is no innocent civilians in Palestine. That's what she said. So, what is your views on that?
Well, civilians, when we say civilians, is those who they are not involved in war activities, correct?
Yes.
Okay, but all the civilians of Gaza, they are involved in the war activities against Israel. How we know that? When they did the invasion in October 7, 90% of the thieves who came and they loot, they were civilians. And most of the kidnapped women and children, they are not even kidnapped, not all of them kidnapped by Hamas. It was kidnapped by civilians. And then Hamas,
yes, we have seen that video.
They bought many of those kidnapped people. They paid them money to the civilians. So they were discussing how much the price, the same as buying a slave. So civilians is the one, most of them, the one who kidnapped, it was civilians, not army, not Hamas, not even at Jihad al-Islami. Hamas they kidnapped, yes. At Jihad al-Islami they kidnapped, but civilian, the majority of the kidnapped, it was done by the civilians. Civilian mean,
we have seen that,
is the ones who don't belong to a group of fighters and they don't wear uniform, but those are criminals too. And we saw all, even children, they were dancing in the street in October 7. So where is the civilians? Don't you see civilian in Pakistan? They were dancing in the street. They are civilian too.
Yeah.
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 All right. Thank you, my friend, for the
Okay,
question.
thank you.
You're welcome. Do we have any Muslim? Last call for any Muslim? The civilian in Gaza, they are the terrorists. You see, what people do not know, that people of Gaza are tribes. So there's big families. In Arabic, we call them ashair. So those are big families, are the one who provide. They are the one who have the authority. And Gaza is this divided between them, but between those families. There's a small, tiny families, nobody count them. Those, they don't dare even to open their mouth. So the big families of Gaza is the one in control of the arms, the weapon, the drugs, the mafia, the slavery, etc. So each one of them, each one of those groups, they were involved in kidnapping and looting. And if one, he is not from big family, he kidnapped, the big family, they will force him to give them the one is kidnapped so they can negotiate with Hamas about how much money they will pay so we can exchange the captured Jews with you with the money. This is why one of the girls they were kidnapped, she was explaining when they took her first day, the guy who took her in the motorcycle, he stopped by somebody and they were discussing and they were fighting over the price. This is too much. You are asking for so much. This is not a big deal. You will make way more money later when they try to free them, etc. So they were negotiating about how much money he will make. The guy who kidnapped her, he didn't want to keep her because obviously he's afraid the Jews will trace his house. They will find him. They will kill him. So he said, let me be smart. If I can get a couple of $1,000s for this slave, better than having her in my home. So he sold her right away to other group. All right. But you know, we are in the world of hypocrisy these days. So even the Israeli government, they say our war is not with people of Gaza. It's a big fat lie. Every single one civilian of people of Gaza wish to slaughter you all. So yes, your war with the people of Gaza. But again, everybody is a hypocrite these days. Political correctness is the biggest disease in this earth. We know it. Our war is not with the Palestinian. A lie. Those are, first of all, those are not Palestinian. Those are Arab invader. Secondly, we know that all of them, they hate you. Everyone, like I saw a video made by a Jewish guy. He said this is not about religion. He's a soldier. He's being politically correct. Well, this is all about religion. Every second of it is about religion. All of this just because you are a Jew. If you are a Muslim, nobody will care. Look, the Muslims killing each other in Libya, in Sudan, in Syria, in Iraq, everywhere, in Yemen. We don't see anybody going crazy. Why? Because those Muslims are killing Muslims. All this drama is because you are a Jew and you should not be allowed to live there. As simple as that. They want to strip you from your land just because you are a Jew. Muslims are supremacists. They believe everybody should go down and Muslims are the white supremacist people in the world. And they use those poor African, lying to them, saying to them, this is just temporarily. But you will never find a caliphate is black. If the Muslim, they have a caliphate, the caliphate have to be from Quraysh. Not only he is an Arab, not only he is white, he is from Quraysh. Why the caliphate of ISIS, his last name is Al-Qurashi? Did you know this? Anyone, he will come to be a leader for them, have to be from Quraysh. Black? No way. Egyptian? Absolutely not. Even the Turkish. When the Turkish, they made their own caliphate, the Arab, they never approve it because they are not Arab. This is why as soon as they get the opportunity to get rid of the caliphate of the Ottoman, the Arab is the first one to go and revolt against them. For sure, that was by the guidance of Her Majesty, the Queen of England. If you know the story of Lawrence, anyone know the story of Lawrence the Arabian? You don't know? Lawrence the Arabian is it's like James Bond movies, but it's real. He was sent by the British intelligence to Arabian Peninsula, and he taught them how to use weapon, how to attack, how to organize themselves, and he organized something, changed the history of the Middle East. One person. But he was an agent of the British intelligence. They call him Lawrence the Arabian. He did not even change his name. And he made the Arab revolt against the Ottoman. And all those countries you see right now is because of this guy. Jordan, Syria, Iraq, all those divided countries is done behind it, this guy. He brought a guy, he is from Quraysh. He is descendant supposedly from Mohammed. They sponsored him by money and weapon from England. He trained his men and they start a revolution. In the Middle East is called the biggest Arab revolution. This guy, he came in the top of a horse. He's just a Bedouin. He don't take even a shower. Suddenly he is important. And then they made him a king. The British, they made him a king. Then he gave his kingdom. He divided his kingdom to 3 of his kids. One kingdom is in Jordan. And this is the grandsons of him, the king of Jordan right now. Other kingdom is in Syria. The 3rd kingdom is in Iraq. The 2 kids he have in Iraq and Syria, the Syrian, they killed him. The Iraqi, they killed him. They get rid of them. The one who was able to be protected by the British intelligence, it was the king of Jordan. And until now, the only one who protect Jordan is the British. In fact, the king of Jordan right now, he is half a British. His mother is a British woman. All right? So the history of the Middle East is really messed up, and always Western is behind a lot of things happening in the Middle East. And right now, I don't know if you know the news, Iran was able to convert many people inside Jordan into Shia. And those Shia, they were they connected with the Muslim Brotherhood, etc. And they were preparing to do a lot of attacks inside Jordan. If you go right now and search for news, this is just today, or the day or 2 days ago, you will find always news about an attack prepared to be against Jordan. So the Iranian now, they consider Jordan as a major target. Why? Because simply, as you see, Iran affiliated cell reportedly found storing explosive in Jordan. So the Jordanian regime, in the appearance, they are against Israel. They support the Palestinian. But because this guy, he have almost